Disclaimer. This show is for discussion and entertainment purposes only. The Finding Gnosis show is a platform for open discussion, exploration, and opinion sharing. The views expressed by hosts, guests, and participants are personal opinions and do not constitute professional, medical, legal, or financial advice. All topics discussed are only intended to spark curiosity, entertain, and encourage independent thought. If any subject interests you, we strongly advise conducting your own thorough research using reliable and professional sources. Critical thinking and due diligence is key. Stay curious, stay informed, be well, be lucky, and don't be an arsehole.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Finding Gnosis show. I do hope you are well. I do hope you are exceedingly well. We are live on the Finding Gnosis show once again.
I'll just come here for a while until someone else comes along.
Trying to find out what is going on in the strange systems. And also trying to find out what we should be doing here whilst we are here. We are trying to find Gnosis, knowledge that will prove helpful in that regard. Chickpea, how's your search for Gnosis going?
How do you think? No, I've already made up my mind. You know that. It was already made up.
Tell me. For
well,
those
you know me. I think the world. Did you watch that video I sent? I sent you a couple of videos. From Lumen, a good one actually. It's about childbearing and all the other costs that are involved. I thought I'd let you watch it. It's not just Anyway,
okay.
If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it.
Chickpea, you said your mind is made up. What are we doing here, and what should we be doing?
You know me. I think I'm a member of. I don't know what the rest of you are up to, but I'm here to be a little slave until I die. And and then I will start all over again unless I manage to escape. That's what I believe.
Who's enslaved you, and what are you enslaved to be doing? Because I don't know what you do day to day as a slave. Tell us about your life as a slave. It doesn't exactly sound like slavery to me, Chickpea.
No, but I still had to live with pain, even though I don't work. I've had to live with a lot of pain.
Yes, I hear what you're saying.
No, I've had to live with a lot of. No, it has been pain.
You are one of those people. You believe there's entities or an entity feeding off loosh energy.
Yes, yeah, well, you know I believe. Ow! You know I believe that.
How long have you believed that, Chickpea?
Well, it became more confirmed when I started coming here. Before I was, maybe not, maybe. Then I started coming and listening to you talking, other people talking. Now I firmly believe it. But David Dyke's been writing about it for years in his books. It's not exactly a thing. So, yeah, you never guess what? I was talking to Marcus till 4:00 this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, we were chattering. Yes. He's had a lovely idea, actually, so you must ask him about it. He's had an idea. He wants to do something.
Okay, well, hopefully he'll tell me about it.
Yes, I said to him to tell you about it. Yes. Yeah, we talked till 4:00 this morning. Yeah. And the other night I was up until God knows what time having a massive row with some other guy. Was it the Matrix guy?
All the things you do when I'm not around, eh? When I'm around, you're lovely, charming, polite. Dare I say it, submissive. And when I'm not around, you turn into a raging monster.
Yeah. Well, yes, there is a reason for it, actually.
Mm.
Notice I only do it to a certain sector of society.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome. If you're here, do click on the link. Come on and talk. This is the Finding Gnosis show.
Yes, I had one heck of a row. Really, really, in the end, I just shut my computer down. I thought, can't cope with this anymore.
Why do you let yourself get that angry?
Because I don't like people telling me that I should be happy and clappy all the time. If I wanted to be a happy, clappy, blah, I wouldn't come here, would I? Because it's not a happy, clappy channel. It's not. If I wanted to be happy, clappy, I'll go and watch Rick Mail or somebody on another channel. You know? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not miserable anyway.
Oh, you're dreadfully happy.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. I believe what Barbara Ehrenreich had to say about the whole positive thing. It's one of the reasons why so many Americans now are on antidepressants. And in this country too, it's getting to be really high numbers. Do you know that?
Hello to Divine Hazel. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello,
hi, Divine.
And welcome, Divine. The link to enter the chat is in the comment section. Hit the like button, says Divine. Thank you to Leader Laney, who is here. He's clicked like on Facebook. So, yeah, you can watch this show on X, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and even Kick. Just look for Finding Gnosis, and you'll find us across all those
I only
platforms.
watch YouTube. I don't watch anything else because I watch enough junk called. No, I'm trying to stop it a bit because I was saying to Marcus last night, my concentration levels are becoming shocking. So I'm going to stop it a little bit, because I sit. I sit scrolling through little cat videos all day long, and other little creature videos.
Whilst you've got actual real life cats on your lap,
Yeah,
you could be playing with your real life cats, of which you have 7.
Yeah.
But you're choosing to watch cats in video format.
One of my cats actually sits and watches with me, and she meows at the cats she sees on the screen. She actually recognizes other cats.
Hello, and a warm welcome to Brother Marcus, who's already come here. That's great. Nice to have some early birds for once.
Hello.
Brother Marcus, welcome. I heard you and Chickpea were chatting till 4 a.m. UK time.
Yeah, she makes it sound like we talked for a long time. It was just till 11 at my time, so it was just like an hour.
4 a.m. here.
So, yeah. Well, that's nice. Little after show socializing.
Yeah, it was a good discussion because Chickpea has personal experience in the history of veganism, animal rights, and animal liberation. So she knows the development of all these movements, and I think that history is not well known, and so it was just interesting.
Yeah, the whole vegan movement thing only started very recently that it became so sort of known. When I was a vegan, when I was young, it was unheard of. Literally, I was deemed to be a bit of a freak. It's only in the past since the internet that has become a bit more. Sorry?
You became
in Bristol when I
Bristol,
started,
right?
yes.
Now,
with the Daily Mirror.
That's a good question. Were there any other vegans around? Where did you hear about it?
I was the only one. When I was young, I was the only one. There was no others at all.
And did you call yourself? What did you call yourself?
I just called myself a vegetarian because I didn't even know the term veganism existed. I didn't even know that existed. And I just used to say I don't want to eat meat and I don't want to drink milk and I don't want to eat eggs. I can't eat eggs anyway. They're too rich for me. They make me feel quite ill. And and I started when I was 14.
Do you remember? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, when I was 14, the Daily Mirror did this huge expose. So I bought several copies and showed my friends and showed my parents. And all me and my half a dozen friends, we went and laid down on the Falkendale Road, this main road going into Westbury. And then the police had to come and pick us up off the road. We just stopped all the traffic. But, and I remember when I was in the Navy, and I remember when I was in boarding school, getting stuff from Animal Aid, posters about vivisection and stuff like that, and putting them up everywhere. And I used to get told off for it.
Do you remember the first time you met another vegan? That's the question.
Another vegan? Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Another actual vegan, not just a vegetarian, an actual vegan.
Actual vegan.
Do you remember?
It would have been sometime in the 90s. I think. I didn't know any vegans in the 80s. Yeah, 90s. It's. I tell you, veganism was never talked about. I remember when I was at school being bullied because of the vegetarianism even. Veganism, you're deemed to be a freak. Yeah, I mean, you do when you're young, you get bullied because of it. And I've heard young vegans saying that. Young vegans. From this day and time.
I don't know if that would happen now.
Well, we're still hated. There's an article today about...
I suppose it depends on what school you were in.
Yeah, I went to so many.
I know somebody who teaches, and I know another person who looks after kids in like a nursery, and they say that a lot of these little younger kids are vegan,
Yes, I know, because, it's finally... Because, mind you, Marcus was a vegan since he was a baby, too, like me. He told me last night.
I'm not a vegan.
Marcus.
I told you about this. We talked about it for an hour.
Yeah, I know, but Marcus, I still use the old language from the 80s.
Well, the old language is about animal liberation. It's about animal rights. And the vegan
Marcus,
thing was introduced into 1951, and we literally talked about this.
I know, but I don't have your brain power, Marcus. You've got far more brain cells than me. You have.
All right.
I keep saying that to you. I'm not as well read as my vocabulary is more limited than yours.
So, what was this idea? Chickpea keeps badgering me. This is the second time today. She even commented. She's terribly excited about something you said last night.
I suggested that we have like a book club that's like a live stream, and we can just cover like short text together. And
I mean that's doable. We said that. We said we would do that. You said you found a load of short text for us to read, maybe 10 pages or something.
I'm also
but we could do that.
I was also
thinking, Marcus, give me a message on X or Discord, and we can arrange that.
I was also thinking D&W. We could do like we used to have at school in English literature classes. You used to.
Or we could do a creative writing class, maybe, or something.
No, like we used to do at school. You had to go home and read X number of chapters, and then the next class, you all sat and discussed what you read.
Yeah, but that would be kind of like the book club, wouldn't it?
Yeah, nice. Well, yes. If we just you read it in your spare time. Maybe
I presume actually, Brother Marcus's book club, we'd be reading it in real time and then discussing it afterwards. So I like the idea of that one, because the problem with the book club one is, I guarantee you, not everybody will read it, and not everybody will be able to join, and it will just become a case of, people trying to catch up and people not knowing where they are at in the book.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I had two ideas. One was for your show in terms of covering like 10-page texts, and that was mostly for an idea for your show. But the book club was a secondary idea where we do read the text beforehand and then just hop on a live stream and talk about the text.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's that we could do Shakespeare.
Well, we could do. I mean, how often would that be? A once a month stream? Would you say?
Once a week, D&W. We do it once a month.
It depends. It depends on.
Probably is less stressful.
It depends, because lots of people. It depends on other people's availability and ability to devote time to reading as well. Chickpea.
Also, just
how often?
I don't know how to transition into this smoothly, but there was a mass shooting yesterday in Canada.
Shit,
yeah.
Inside BC, right?
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I heard it. British Columbia. Yep. Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, I think.
Sorry.
I think here a drone was a plane was shot down by an American drone here in El Paso. That's in Texas. Yeah, that happened because they were doing training over there in El Paso because they have a big ass base of army over there in El Paso, and like they accidentally shot down a plane. Yeah, can you believe it? The
When did
American.
this happen? I didn't hear about this.
I think it happened either last night or 2 days
A
ago.
plane or a drone? It's probably a drone, was it?
A drone shot down another drone. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they were being super incompetent that they had to close up the airspace for like 8 days. Yeah, that hasn't happened in any U.S. City since 9/11 happened. Yeah, it was really, really incompetent on their part, if you know what I mean.
Life Abolitionism is here. Hello there. He said he'd love to hear that conversation about rejecting the label of veganism.
Yeah.
If he wants just like a quick summary, it's just the vegan definition in the Vegan Society predated the animal rights theory, and I just go down the animal rights road. If he just wants a quick rundown of,
Yeah, you're way. I just call it some vegetarianism, oblique veganism. Yeah, that's how I just look at it all. But yeah, I'm come from a different time. We didn't have all these.
I'll be
It's
right
like
back.
the antinatalism. Even though I always knew I didn't want children, I'm very anti having children. I only discovered the word antinatalism when I bought David Benatar's book and came here and chatted about it. I never knew
and
that.
also like the animal liberation book came out in like 1970 something, and
Yeah, no, I've
Peter
got it.
Singer- Peter Singer doesn't believe in rights, so like it's not even an animal rights thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't believe in doing what we do to animals. You know, that's how. As long as somebody
That
doesn't.
makes sense though. Like I don't think that's like logically inconsistent. You have value judgments, and yet you don't believe in like rights in like an abstract way. I don't think that's like contradictory at all.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't
It's
think it's
complicated.
contradictory. He's a utilitarian, so he's
Well,
Of course, yeah. So he comes from like another background. Yeah, of course he does. Yeah,
gosh, so complicated.
yeah.
It's like the whole thing. Fatima, right? I have been told I'm no longer classed as a vegan because I feed my cats on fish. I don't wear leather. I don't wear wool.
That word vegan is very loose now, thanks to
Yes, it's very loose, isn't
very
it?
loose. Like honestly, words now like their meanings are in their usage, and it's in specific contexts. That matters what the word means. Like there's no true essence of a word anymore, in my opinion, or like strongly. I think that
But I don't see the method in the madness because they are going to turn people away from the cause by this sort of nonsense. And they are. Because there was an article in the Daily Mail today about a bloke on an aeroplane, and he ordered a vegan sandwich. Anyway, the sandwich was no good. So you should see all the negative comments about vegans all over a sandwich.
I think that
unbelievable.
The only like legit movement I can buy into would be two types: either like anti-capitalism or anti-colonialism. Those are the only two that have any strong lasting power. But even they're hijacked sometimes. So yeah, like that's just me being the skeptic I am about human achievement. But like no, like whenever I think of rights, whenever I think of historical right movements, it's very, very interesting because a lot of those things get co-opted. Because did you know that in the 1960s and the early 1970s, the main head of the feminist movement, she was trained by the CIA to say these things. Yeah, she was trained by the CIA to say all of these things in like the late 1960s and early 1970s, essentially getting away from the classism of like classical socialism and like communism and the Marxism on like identity politics, such as women's rights and stuff like that. Like rights to like all that stuff of jobs, healthcare, all that stuff. So they essentially primed it into that. Yeah, so that's what happens and this happens in all types of movements I've noticed here in the West, in America, especially. Like, they get co-opted a lot by like the CIA, State Department, or MI6, or any other intelligence agency here, like, so that they can subdue and subvert the masses into thinking only about specific issues, about really
Yeah.
focusing on the class issues that, like, it's not right or left, it's just the rich issues.
Yeah, but DW, like I was saying about Marcus, he started his veganism journey very young, like I did, 7 years old, 8 years old. He told me last night.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, you were saying you had the same problem I had with my parents. I was force fed.
Yeah.
I didn't want it. So it was
Yeah, around 4 or 5, they.
But you were young. Yes, you're younger than me. Even I was 7 when
They said you have to eat this. It's a cycle of life, and I remember being grossed out seeing the veins in the steak and stuff like that.
Yes, you got exactly the same as I've got. I'm just totally. When I see a piece of meat somewhere, I'm completely thingied by it. I can cope with fish, oddly enough, but I can't cope with meat of any kind. And a piece of chicken, a dead chicken in the middle of the table breaks my heart.
I was really, really late to 28. That's late. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
you were late.
I did become a vegetarian before that. And the thing is, I worked in a meat factory at 17 or something for like a summer. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't work in the area where they did the boning and the cutting up of the meat.
Yeah.
I worked in the dispatch area, and I was going in and out of the cold store, taking the boxes of meat out on metal racks and putting them on pallets. Yeah. Now, I didn't actually see the meat in my actual job. You know what I mean? Because it was already in cardboard boxes. It was coming out of the freezer in cardboard boxes, like 20 kg boxes that I had to lift off and put on. We had to stack them on pallets. But I have to say, whenever I want to go to the toilet, I did walk past the people doing the boning. Right now, they were wearing white. They used to wear blue overalls with a white jacket over them, almost like basically like a doctor's jacket or a science lab jacket. And they used to wear like a blue hairnet. Yeah. And you just I'd walk through this area where they were doing the boning, as they called it, cutting the meat into whatever sizes and whatever they did. And it was like a horror scene. There was blood everywhere. There was blood. It was nasty, man. There's blood running along the ground.
Blood, guts,
and they were wearing wellies. They wore wellies as well.
Yeah, it's a horror story.
And I used to have to go for a piss sometimes. So I'd walk by them. And it didn't. I know it just didn't. At that age, I didn't even think about it. I thought it looked horrible, but I wasn't thinking about the significance of these being sentient. I wasn't. As I was 17.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I'm a late bloomer as well. It was like in my 30s, in like around 2015. Like I just told Chickpea I was forced to eat meat, and I had that initial reaction.
Yeah, I was.
And I still ate it most of my life. It was into my 30s that I made a shift.
Now the interesting thing is, there was a neighbor's kid, well, a neighbor of my parents. That kid, when he was about 4 or something, was watching TV and basically said, "I don't want to eat animals anymore."
Yes,
all the animals on television.
Yeah,
and then he realized the meat was
tooth.
He knew, and he just had this really strong instinct where he said,
Yes.
"I don't want to eat animals, mummy."
Yeah, I was like that. I remember saying
Daddy,
it.
and they let him be vegan, basically.
Oh, you're lucky him.
And he's grown up now, but he's very healthy. He's very healthy, I'll tell you that.
He had very good parents. Wow.
But the funny thing is, the dad worked in that meat factory.
Wow.
Yeah.
His dad basically ran the wing of that meat factory. So isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
How
He had very good
This
parents.
just shows you, like, children can just change things. You know, that new different generations can just do totally different things to their
Oh yeah,
parents.
for sure. Yeah, different generations do
Yeah, I
something
do.
different, and it gets
They
repressed.
can do totally different things to their parents. So, and I find it interesting that we actually get resentful and tied up in kinship. Like we look at people who are children of people we don't like, for example. This often happens in society, and we have a tendency to put the negative feelings we had onto their parent, onto the child when the child is an adult as well, because we think, oh, they're the same.
Yeah.
They do that all the time. It happens all the time in society. I think.
Yes.
I don't know if it happens in women's circles, but it's certainly
worse than men. Women are shocking. You know, when I was my stepfather was staff sergeant, okay, and in the armed forces, officers' children don't play with sergeants' children, and sergeants' children don't play with corporals' children, and this is children doing this, young children. You're not allowed to play with so-and-so because his dad is only a sergeant. This actually used to go on in the armed forces. Because I tell you something, the children carry their parents' rank. And it's unbelievable how that's what I was brought up in. That's why I'm so screwed up, I suspect.
Now, I'll tell you one thing I had that I experienced. Not that much, thankfully, but definitely, I don't know if any of you had... say your father's brother-in-law or someone in the vicinity, like extended family, who like they probably, if you came from a large family, there's a likelihood that someone doesn't like someone, or maybe they just don't get along.
No, that's true. That's very true. No.
It's a bit harsh to say don't like them. They just don't see eye to eye. They wouldn't be friends. The only reason they hang out is because someone's married to someone. You know?
Yeah,
kind of way?
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, I had one particular uncle-in-law. So he was married to my sister's aunt. Sorry, my mum's sister. And basically, he was a head teacher in a school, but he was also very nasty, very, very snide. I would say he would be classified as narcissistic. You know, I'd say he would be. And I noticed the jibing at my dad, but my dad was a very robust, kind of stoic character. You know, he was very good at, giving answers and such and not getting emotional. And that annoyed, the way, if you don't get emotional, it annoys some people because they want to see an emotional reaction. But he was very good at not getting emotional. And what I noticed is they turn on me. I don't know if any of you had that, where they can't get a reaction out of your dad, so they turn on you.
Yeah.
I only had that in one maybe two instances in my life where you can tell, like, say, someone who didn't get along with my dad would try and wind me up or wind him up through me.
I saw that in the army. God, that was common.
Try and wind my dad up by like trying to wind me up. I mean, people can be extremely sick. People can be extremely sick. Now, that guy in particular, he did say a few things when I was growing up, and I thought, this guy's a bit, out there, a bit fucked up. Now, it did turn out he got early onset Alzheimer's. He got Alzheimer's very young, maybe in his 50s, and died. He died during COVID. He died in a horrific situation where he was literally in one of those isolation chambers. Wow. And he didn't know his ass from his elbow, and he had all these people looking in at him whilst he was in this isolation chamber. So, I mean, that must have been quite a terrifying way to die. So, as I said, he died from COVID, but he was surrounded by glass, people looking in at him, and he probably couldn't even recognize who they were. And he was dying at the same time. So that is a horrible end. But I did actually have some pity for him in the end, because I realized, Alzheimer's, one of the first things to go is the prefrontal lobes. And it might be that, he was becoming, let's just say, antisocial a little bit, because his brain was literally fragmenting and dying. And the part that was being affected was that bit at the front that is involved in social empathy. So that is why he was like that. It is probably because I was thinking, surely my auntie wouldn't have married someone like this, and I don't think he was always like that. This is the thing. I don't think he was always like that all his life. It's just, coming up to that period when the Alzheimer's started hitting him, it started attacking his brain, and he started becoming a bit of an arsehole. Now, we didn't know that was happening to him. Do you know what I mean? And this just makes me think a lot of the time about the fragility of the human brain, and also how we're getting angry at people sometimes. And I know we all know that, psychology and, intelligence and anatomy, we know that people can be born with certain attributes, but so sometimes we forgive people in that sense. But it's also worth remembering that the brain changes throughout life, and it can be in a detrimental manner. So people can turn into arseholes that weren't necessarily arseholes before. And again, it's not their fault. Anyway, that's my lecture over.
I'll tell you something, in the armed forces, because you really see human behavior at its most sick, because it's a sick place to be. Yeah, you'd find yourself being told, if somebody didn't like your mother or father, they wouldn't allow you to play with their children. That's how sick it all was.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, it was great to have all the travel and everything and nice housing, but it was a really sick environment.
And the same goes for some of the disturbing teachers I met in life, when I was a student.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Some of them might have had, like, who knows? I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they had early onset Alzheimer's as well, or some weird brain tumor growing in their head that was making them act the way they did,
No, some people are quite nasty.
Some people are obviously quite nasty.
God, yes, my mother could be. Jesus wept.
Jackie, you coming on? Divine, Nibbles.
Hey, Jackie,
Nibbles has never been on here. I don't know if
have you seen that
life
lovely
abolitionism. I don't know if life abolitionism will pop on, but there you go. Sorry, you saying, Chickpea? I'm going to. I'll be right back. I'm listening though.
Nibbles has got a lovely avatar of a cat. It's a sweet cat.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, it's a pretty cute cat. But as for me though, like, I have like, my mom married another woman, and like, I don't get along with her at all. Actually, yeah, I don't. Not at all. I don't see eye to eye with her much of anything, to be honest. Yeah.
I find it
and because of her, I have like a younger brother, which he's cool. He's all right. Yeah, he's chill. Yeah, he's a well-meaning kid. He is. Yeah.
But people can be nasty, because I remember when I used to work I worked as a temp for a couple of years back in the city.
Oh yeah.
And oh God, when you'd you'd be taking someone's place, they'd be on holiday for a fortnight, and the bitching that went on about that person for the duration of the fortnight, it was unbelievable. And on one occasion, I was actually in a place where someone had died, and they were even bitching about the person that had died. I mean, it was just the bitchiness. It was just incredible. I was shocked by it, because I thought I was a bit nasty sometimes, but I wouldn't have dreamt of what they came out with.
Where was that, Chickpea? Sorry?
In the city of London.
There's nothing worse than the office bitch or the office.
God, it's terrible.
The office,
and it's got worse over the years.
Yeah.
In the 70s, it wasn't too bad, but by the 90s, it was really very uncomfortable. It's got worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I can bet. Yeah.
Yeah, the bitching. And women are worse than men for it. And I tell you, a woman boss, when I was in the Wrens, I loved the sailors, and I really did like the guys. But those Wren officers, they used to drive me to tears, literally. Real bitches. I don't like women with power. No, it's a terribly sexist thing to say, but I don't like them. They always pick. What they do? They pick on you. Pick.
I kind of do. I kind of like women with some power.
Do you? I don't know. No, I can't bear them. No. I'd far rather work for men any day of the week.
In the workforce, yeah. Yeah,
I don't like working for women.
Yes, I think it's kind of hard.
They can be nasty, I tell you. It's sad, brutal truth, unfortunately. I think they're under a lot of stress because they, of course, have a husband to care for, plus being a lawyer and probably having a kid somewhere as well. So they're under so much stress, far more stress than the men are.
Yeah, possibly. They are for sure. Yeah, they are under a lot more stress.
But in the Navy, oh my God, these Wren officers, they were so full of themselves. I mean, it was really Well, psychotic almost.
You want to know something crazy? Is that my father wanted me to join the army when I was like 10 or 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he scheduled like a routine for
Yes.
me, and like I broke it so many times. It's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're not gonna do this anymore. Like, yeah, it got pretty,
Yeah.
I don't know what he was doing, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think
They wanted me to be a plumber and join the army. They were the two things. Yeah.
What? Yeah, I don't know why. That's weird. Like I could never see myself in the army. Are you like kidding me? Like never. Especially the American army. Hell no. Like I would be for sure like a war criminal, honestly.
Shall I tell you a funny story about my family, okay? Because I had to join the Wrens because my stepfather said, you can't stay living here. I was only 17 and a half, had to leave home. But my brother, Raymond, my parents wanted him to join the army. And after all, he wasn't male. But it was okay for him not to join because he didn't like the noise of the guns. It was okay for me to listen to guns, a female. It was okay. Raymond didn't have to join up. And the daughter joined up. True.
Yeah, but you said your brother's gay, isn't he?
Yes, not that matter. There was gay men in the Navy.
Of course,
But I'm just saying,
Steelers.
they might have said there's no point sending him there. It might be hard for
So
him.
it was he didn't like the noise of the guns. That's the honest truth. He didn't like the sound
There's
of
a
the
hell
guns.
of a lot of gays in the army. Unbelievable amount.
Yes, a lot, yeah. So I doesn't bother homosexual, it doesn't bother me. There was lots of
Not
lesbians.
that there's
too.
anything wrong with that.
No, I don't
Huh?
think it.
What'd you say?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
What's wrong with it?
Being, of course, no. It's just that. It's just that.
No, but there is a surprisingly large amount of gays in the army.
I
Yeah,
know.
well,
Of
Navy's
course
the same.
there is. Yeah, I know there
Yeah.
is. Yeah. And I think it's because they want to prove themselves that they're not like a complete like. I guess like if I'm a dude, when I'm like, do you really have to join the army to like prove that, or like they're pressured by their family
No,
that
no.
they're like a man,
but women do it too, and in the Wrens, most of the senior rates and female officers you tended to find were lesbians because you don't last for long if you're not actually. I think
Yeah.
they're all a bit odd. Most Wrens only lasted for about 3.5 years, like I did, and that was
Well,
it.
it can be, I suppose, it is a little bit of a funny one sometimes, the army, because you're handing yourself over to another,
Yes.
or you're giving authority to someone else.
Yes.
You may not agree with
Yes.
what they're doing.
Don't tell
but
me
you
about
can-
it.
you know.
And that always was like my biggest gripe for
Yeah.
the army, especially in the country I live in, because the army here is very, very. The army culture and industry is extremely pervasive everywhere. That's why it's called the military industrial complex.
Yeah. Actually, I spent some time on board the JFK, the John F. Kennedy,
I do
the
know.
great
John
big
Kennedy,
land, the great big aircraft carrier, and that ship had 4,000 men on it, and you should have seen it. I went on board, and you had to see it to believe it. The size.
Yeah, it's big. It's very
Yeah,
big.
of course, it was huge. I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah. But I did love the guys in the Navy. I really loved them, but I didn't like the women
Yeah.
very much.
They are pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother
Oh.
Marcus says he has some errands, but he'll listen in the audience. He may pop back on in a bit.
Okay.
Hello to Sika in the live chat, and Pristine. Hello, Pristine. What would you like to say today to the world?
Hi, Pristine son. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit tired, but yeah, I don't really have much to say today. So yeah, I don't know. Drawing blanks. What have you guys been talking about?
Oh, we're talking about like being in the Navy for like these two. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my sister's in the Air Force.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Air Force.
I don't
Mm.
yeah, she's in the Air Force. Yeah, she's dating a pilot.
Oh,
Yeah, my cousin's a pilot. He was a pilot, and he works for Delta.
Delta. Wow.
So is
Yeah,
my cousin a
that's-
pilot? There you go.
I don't think any of my family are in the army. No, no. The only one that they've ever been in was in the law enforcement. That's the most they ever entered, like law enforcement. Yeah, here and in Peru, they only were there and like being like a policeman, and that's all they ever did. Yeah, just being policemen.
So your Peruvian ancestry, does it go back to the Incas?
Most likely it does in some part because maybe it does. Maybe there is some of there.
So
Yeah,
you got
but
obviously the European Spanish probably.
of course, yeah. Actually,
And,
yes, that's true.
maybe some Peruvian. Have you looked into the Inca culture? I mean, they were very similar to the Aztecs, right? If not,
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were in some ways. They both venerated the sun, but like the Incas were very advanced in their engineering, like the
right.
buildings. They were more advanced than any other culture in the Americas. Yeah, very very advanced in terms of like agriculture and like engineering the agriculture.
Uh-huh.
And like they had their own like communications system because they didn't have any writing at all, and there was no writing in their culture. They used like some like knots and strings to like communicate with like one another. And like yeah, it's very very interesting how like a culture can like make those big stone buildings without any conception of the
Weird, isn't it? Isn't that strange?
yeah.
Have you been to Egypt? Have you ever been to Egypt?
No, I haven't, but I
Yeah.
would. I don't know
Is that
if I
an
would,
easy place to
because
get
like
to from England?
Sorry?
Must be. Is that an easy place to get to from England? It must be.
What,
If you're
Egypt?
talking about Asia, that sounds so casual. Oh, you've been to Egypt? I mean,
Also been to
that would
Egypt.
cost so
Yeah,
much money.
yeah,
That would cost
twice.
like crazy amount of money, I'd imagine.
But
to
you
get
know
from
what? In
Australia.
Egypt, there are buildings in these temples back, in the Aswan, that you look at them, you think, how on earth did they build this? Yeah, it's breathtaking, Egypt. It's really, I
There's
don't
so
know
many
how they
different-
did it.
Yeah.
but like I
And
kind of
pyramids.
look at Egypt now. Like I look at like the vloggers going surrounding the places of the pyramids and ruins, and it looks kind of it looks pretty nasty
Yeah.
because it's crowded. It's
Yeah, but this was back in the 70s and 80s. I went years and years ago.
yeah. You
before
see, back then it was
tourism
cleaner. Now it's
took
a lot
over.
dirtier now.
Turns
For
to a
some
dump.
reason.
Yes,
Yeah.
it turns to a dump. Yes.
But like for
Oh.
like yeah, that was
But but everyone's gone like that. Back in the 70s and 80s, because there wasn't all this tourism, it was nice. Traveling was nice. I wouldn't do it now.
and it was cheaper, yeah, back then to travel in those regions.
It was quite expensive, but yeah, but it was nicer because you didn't have all this trouble on the aeroplanes, people fighting on aeroplanes and things.
Oh yeah, you didn't have war.
Huh?
It's like $500. That's cheap for a working person. That's nothing. Like $500 is really nothing at all to an adult working. If you're working in an office and you've got a good position, that's really like $5 to 951 way and 1,000 for return. And obviously you want to return, so that's going to be 1,000.
Just help.
Oh yeah, if you want to go there and not come back, it's $500.
I don't think I'd go that far with Egypt. I'd like to go to Istanbul. I'll tell you, no, I'd love to go and live in Istanbul. I would love it there. That would.
Yeah.
Egypt.
Yeah, those places overrun with cats. I'd love it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I do worship cats.
You know what's one country I would love to see, honestly, because I hear it's not as like hectic as it was like years ago, like 20 years ago. It's Iraq. Iraq still has a lot of old monuments to like Babylon, Mesopotamia, and the fighting has gradually went down. Like all of like the terrorists and war, it's gone down a lot. Yeah, so it's not as bad as it was. Like I've seen people there. They seem very friendly people there. Very they like people who travel to their country. They're not like soldiers, at least. So yeah, there's that. So they're very very good people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Middle East used to be beautiful back in the 70s, but it's been destroyed now with all the ugly buildings they've put up.
Oh yeah, of course it's been
Ugly
destroyed.
buildings.
I think you were quite lucky, Chickpea. I think you came of age, as it were, when travel was in the
Yes,
golden era.
it was lovely. Oh,
Yeah,
God, traveling
was.
on a plane
Yeah.
But
was
now
lovely.
nowadays it's not. It's
Oh,
really
it was
unpleasant.
nice.
Yeah, exactly.
good at all.
Like
Really,
in like
really nice. It
absolutely,
was.
yeah. Like
Yeah, I
in
really enjoyed it. It was
like
a fun thing to. It was a really pleasurable thing to do.
pleasurable.
Yeah, it's a real nightmare now traveling and choosing different
Yes.
destinations. It's
Yes.
like it's not. You know that we like, especially in places like Europe. It's because of the Islam invasion. Basically, it's just not the
Yes.
same place that it used to be.
It's.
And
I
it's,
find.
you know,
Yeah.
It's
Yes, I was born at a
really
lucky
unattractive. Really unattractive propositions.
time. Yes.
When you think about, you've got to go to the airport, get on the plane,
Yeah. You
yada
wouldn't get
yada
to do it
yada,
now.
spend all that time and money and the stress just to go to what?
Yeah. And I tell you something.
I-
People used to behave. Sorry. Oh.
Oh
We
no,
used
it's
to be-
okay. I was very,
We used-
very.
We used to behave differently. We were also well behaved and polite on flights. You know, everyone
Oh,
behaved themselves. Not like it now. Ugh.
These videos, people freaking out. Oh, he's not here. No, I'm making a joke about that chick who and those people who freak out on airplanes and claim
Yeah.
that. Anyways,
Oh,
Oh yeah,
no, I
she was
couldn't
like
bear
he
it.
was like an alien, right? Like a reptilian. I think
yeah,
that's-
yeah. He
I love
wasn't
that
real.
video.
Yeah.
I love that video. I love that video. It's a very funny video. Yeah, but
Oh,
no,
so
like
old
that.
now.
Yeah, but no, yeah, like I agree. Traveling is kind of
Yeah.
it's not
don't
anymore.
want to
Like
do it.
I've only been to 3 countries in my lifetime. That was Peru, Mexico, and Spain, and all of them they were nice. They were all good in their own ways. I don't remember Peru too much because I was very young. Remember some of it, but I only stayed in like the cities. I didn't go to any of the Incan ruins, the Incan Trail, or like Machu Picchu, unfortunately. And like I don't think I would want to just save money and go there and go to the place I want to live in all my life. You know, that's why I only focus on one region that's really captivated my mind, and that's Southeast Asia. I love Southeast Asian cultures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very beautiful place. It looks
Yes.
like, yeah, very nice place.
I've
Like-
only been to New Zealand, and that's it.
New Zealand,
Just
yeah.
New Zealand. It's so cheap, and half my family's Kiwi, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's it for me. I can't afford to go anywhere else. But my sister's been everywhere, though. I mean, been in the Air Force as well. Before that, she had already been everywhere, anyways, because she, had a good job and married rich, so they were already flying everywhere.
Lucky her.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
yeah. I mean, her husband turned out to be, but bit of a piece of POS. But apart from dealing with that, I'm sure
She's rich.
it was great.
Makes up for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's in a different country every week, basically. Like,
Wow.
she travels around a lot, and no passports are showing. She just gets on the plane and goes. That's being in the Air
Lovely
Force.
life.
You need to do any of that. So yeah, definitely, she's living the life for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
and,
that sounds
lovely
like your
life.
life. Yeah. But
One of the lucky
as-
ones.
Yeah, it's lucky. Yeah, it
And
sounds like
she did that
my.
after having kids, like, because you have to go through a boot camp type thing, like a
Yeah.
physical. And
Boot
she's quite small too. Like, she's like small and short, and she's still after having. I think she had both of the kids by then. Yeah, she did. Yeah, because I was looking after her at the time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she had both Grace and Hudson. Oh, wait, I probably shouldn't have said names, but anyways, sorry, I retract. Can't do much about it now, but yeah, I forgot I'm not really supposed to say names. But anyways, she had both of them before she went on this boot camp, and she still physically handled it well and everything, and they were like brutal. Yeah, I don't know. She's a trooper. She's so good at like everything basically, and she's always been successful. And she went to uni and all that. And, yeah, complete opposite of me. But yeah,
The one.
I just like looking at conspiracies all day, every day, and don't get paid.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to be a pilot. My cousin's one. He worked in the Air Force, then he went to work for Delta. Well, he's probably retired by now.
One of my cousin actually lives in a Southeast Asian country. He lives in Vietnam. He studies birds and he like does stuff with biology. Yeah, so he's staying there. He's been there for like 2 years now, a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. He's been studying there and teaching there in
Nice.
Vietnam. And yeah, I was talking to him earlier, like, hey, I might want to live there in that region one day. I either have Vietnam or Thailand or
Yeah.
Indonesia in my head, in my lists. Yeah, because like I just like the climate and the culture of the place is very, very underexplored. Well, not really underexplored, but like people don't really talk about those cultures as much as like other ones that they go to. Yeah, like so I really want to see those places a lot. Yeah, very rich history there too. Like if you see my profile picture here, it's actually a temple from Indonesia.
Oh, I thought it was a watch me flip tree. My eyesight's so bad now.
No, it's actually a type of like temple or a home from like
wow.
It's how it's built. Yeah, that's how their traditional homes are built. Yeah. So yeah, I've always been there.
I feel sad that I never managed to see one of these huge Buddhas. They build these huge Buddhas because I love Buddhas.
Buddhas.
Yeah, and I really feel sad about that. I didn't see
the largest Buddha statues either in China or Japan. Oh, hey, Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Oh, I think.
Yeah, I just want to see what he's saying here. 1 second, guys.
About what?
We'll see.
The thing about the emails is one of the things is it's just stuff written down. And so that's sort of hard to digest. Like, what is this? Like, what are they saying? Like, some of it is in code, like walking over beef jerky, like talking about jerky. Could you walk beef jerky over to this person? Like, what does that mean?
For all this pizza they're talking about, you never see any pizza.
Right. Yeah. They're ordering
I'm gonna get some grape soda. It's like with my cheese pizza.
Yeah.
And like, there's all this coded language, and everyone's like, oh, that's you just have pareola. You're just seeing things where you want to see them.
No, there's clearly a code. Well, that was the thing about Pizzagate.
It's absolutely a code. And in fact, mundus vult decipi, ergo decipiatur. It's a long known concept. And so in Latin, mundus vult decipi means the world wants to be deceived. Ergo decipiatur. Therefore, it is. We want to be deceived.
Yes.
We don't want to believe the horrors that are actually behind the veil.
Well, I think with the Epstein files, people are, because of these emails that have been released, people are just now starting to be aware of the bizarreness of the code and some of the things, like the facts. Like, let's just talk about the sulfuric acid. So this was like right after he was indicted in 2000.
Yeah, I got to get rid of some bodies.
I gotta, how much did
dissolve up some bodies?
What did it say he ordered? Like, let's
350 gallons.
I think it was 800.
8,000 gallons or
8,000.
Maybe we can get our sponsor Perplexity to process this and give us a synopsis of what exactly happened, some sort of a breakdown. Because one of the things they're saying is like he was indicted, and then right after he's indicted, he orders how many gallons?
350.
55-gallon containers full of sulfuric acid.
Oh, 350.
Jesus Christ.
350.
I thought it was 800.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, he's obviously dissolving them in water.
They're eating babies, man. Like that's
you think, so that you think is real. So
well, yeah. Not only that, I think that there's sacrifices going on every day in Los Angeles. I mean, allegedly, like
Bohemian Grove
level musicians, let's say high level female musician is like killing chickens every.
That's what like some rabbis do.
I don't want to say. I don't want to say names because I don't want to get sued, and I don't want to be dead either.
What does it rhyme like?
Here's the purchase order. I started
the
looking at the comments for some stuff. Not that this is the best answer, but a quick answer.
What are these emails? I can't find them.
For like a reverse osmosis water treatment.
I've been looking for days. I don't know.
There's enough pushback because mundus vult decipi, ergo decipiatur. you know, but like the timing of all of that, like,
yeah.
you know, where are the purchase orders for all of that sulfuric acid before then? Oh, no,
Oh
I
my
just want to
God.
put
What-
sulfuric acid into my swimming pool, muriatic acid.
Well, that's the
Oh.
question. Was there orders for sulfuric acid before this? If
There
they do
wasn't.
have a water treatment plant, why? How does sulfuric acid play into water treatment?
You silly man, it's for dissolving people in.
Okay,
Oh,
it
dearie
says
me.
RO plant, reverse osmosis seawater desalination facility. Sulfuric acid is commonly used in the maintenance of such facilities. Not everything you don't understand adds up to the worst possible thing it could be. Deception.
Look, maybe they're all eating pizza and grape soda. How many?
Who is that guy that's
How
saying
many
this?
billionaires do you know that, you know, like
That's
sit down and eat lots of pizza and grape soda and ice cream?
This is weird.
And
a trial
I'm gonna get
lawyer
me
is
some
saying
chicken.
this.
That's why I just go with grain of salt. This is just a plausible answer. I don't know that it is the answer. It could even be wrong.
Okay,
but
so does he have a desalination plant on the island?
He did.
Oh yeah, for sure. He is a. He had
Yeah,
everything. He had a
reverse
dump and
osmosis.
like they had all sorts of stuff.
So that's
Tunnels.
so they were using that. So they were taking seawater and converting it into fresh water
Yeah.
for what? For
Oh, yeah.
irrigation or for drinking? For all the above?
One similar email that he wrote to someone said that like around his island is like Damascus, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? He was like, it's you go explore
Damascus.
buried shit around my island, or what? I mean, what else could he mean by that?
Huh. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I mean,
lot of things you don't
they
know
say
what
a
they
lot of things, and they're not really coding it very much.
Well, the code, it's glaringly obvious when they say pizza and when they say jerky. That's
Yeah.
glaringly
Listen,
obvious.
last time
How
I
do you
would-
walk jerky?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
why,
not
and why
like-
do I need a chilled container to,
Right.
you know, a chilled bag or whatever they said,
Jesus Christ.
you know, and
So you think they're eating babies?
oh yeah,
Of course they are.
I absolutely believe that.
You should get together with Kurt
Yeah.
Metzger. You two would go crazy.
You know, I don't doubt it for a second.
Well,
I think this dates back like, you know, a long time. This is Moloch worship.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but
I believe all that.
yeah, it is. But I still wouldn't trust.
I
your word.
can't believe it. I can't believe
What?
there's billionaires sitting around a table eating kids. I
Of
just
course
can't
they
believe
do.
it.
No, they do.
Why don't you believe it, D&W?
Reality is
Look,
out.
I can look. I can believe there's one wrong un, but like, what's the chances of there being that many of them doing? I just can't.
Oh, come on,
D&W,
D&W. That's how
You
these
don't
people
get to
gain
be
power.
there unless
I
you.
look. I can believe there might be one, like Jeffrey Epstein might have been doing it, but to have all of them doing it, I can't
They
believe
all
it.
do
Well,
it.
there's
I
not, there's
truly
not that
believe
many
that.
of them. D&W, I'll tell you something. You don't get to be in that circle unless you pass certain. Do you know that?
Initiations.
You know,
I can imagine there's probably a lot of them are perverts. I can imagine that much. Yeah.
do you know what Oxford University?
Again, I don't think they're all pedos either. I think that the minority were perverts. Sorry, pedos. They were all probably perverts, but the minority were pedos.
No.
D&W,
And I would say it's an extreme minority that were cannibals.
Oh, you're
And-
such
Oh,
D&W.
And it
no,
might
no,
even
no.
be just one or two. I can't, maybe two. I can't believe they're all tucking into fucking, eating little children and stuff.
Wouldn't
No,
they?
come on, D&W. You
D&W.
Gary says this is the problem with people like D&W. Well, Gary, come on and tell me.
D&W. Do
Gary
you know
says-
at Oxford University?
Gary, come on and tell me what you think.
You know, at Oxford University, they have this gathering of. There's a club there. I don't know what the name of the club is. I can't remember. But in order to get in to be a member of that club, you have to have sex with a pig.
You got to shag a pig's head or something. Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
Cameron.
Yeah,
That's
which one it was. Yeah.
just get
Yeah,
into that
it's-
little space in Oxford University.
Yeah,
Where
for
you
sure.
get to the
Truth
top of
over
the
lie says
pyramid.
too many people like myself are fobbed off as conspiracy theorists. Well, why don't you come on and talk about it, Gary? I
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
fob
interested.
anyone off, by the way. I just said I can't. I'm not calling you nutters. I'm
Uh,
saying I can't believe that they're all
Yeah.
fucking
You
cannibals.
know,
I
they
just can't believe
inject themselves with the blood from babies to stay looking young. That's why they don't age the way we do.
Adrenochrome. Well, what's that called again?
Adrenochrome.
Adrenochrome. Yeah, that's true.
How
No,
do we know those emails are real? Like, does anyone have a link to the real emails?
actually,
Because I've been going
it's
through-
easy. It's easy. You, if you want to read all of the emails, just go to the American government.
Yeah, I have.
government-
For days I've been looking through the emails. They're boring as fuck.
Yeah,
They
are.
do not
Yeah,
say
it's usually
anything.
just like
Correct.
Epstein talking to his friends about like deals and financial, but like it's only a few of them. There's 3 million of them, but there are a few creepy
Pristine.
things.
Have a look on X, mate. You'll see quite a bit there.
Yeah, X is
Okay.
good, and Reddit, and maybe some YouTube channels that do like exclusive things about this. I've seen stuff on the shorts of the YouTube, and they're talking about this now. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I think it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh,
I
it
really
is.
do.
It is. To me, it's more than
Thank
just
you.
that. It's just
I
more
know
than
what I
just.
do love you, Fatima, because you're the only person that agrees with all this horrible, that
Because
agrees
it's
with
true.
that thought.
It's literally
I
right.
love you because you agree with me.
Ooh, Jeff dog. I've always been
I don't
so
know what
nice
this guy is
to
saying,
you.
but he's popular. I don't know. I have no idea what he's going to say, but we'll see. He's popular on Twitter.
Okay.
Hey,
It's
everybody.
probably AI.
Just a little thought that's, struck me
Ooh.
about how the Western media has portrayed all the leaders of any country that doesn't follow the rules-based order, right?
Yes.
Now, we had Mark Carney, there he is, coming out and saying the rules-based order was a load of shit. It was a fake. It was a lie. We all
Correct.
knew it was a lie all along, but it was a useful tool to pretend that the wars we started, the bombings we were doing, the coups that we created, the lies we told were justified because we were the good guys and they were the bad guys. Okay? So it just strikes me that all the leaders of the countries that they say are the bad guys, Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, all the baddies, okay, who are called the baddies by the goodies, the bad guys aren't on the Epstein list.
They're
They're
not.
not involved in these vile cabals, pedophilia, perversions, all this weird stuff, this weird shit that's been going down. They're not on the list, right? Think about it. The good guys are all on the list. The people that we've been told are the leaders of the free
Yeah,
world,
that's why they lead
the
us.
Clintons, all these freaks, the British royal family.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. It just kind of brings everything full circle. Everything you've been told is complete
Yes.
bullshit. Also, another thing that's important, people like Andrew Tate, people who, even Russell Brand, people who've come forward to shine a light into the reality of these elites. They're all suddenly rapists and, people traffickers. Now, despite the fact that these have been thrown out of court, the Tate brothers case thrown out of court in Miami, complete bullshit. It wasn't real. The media owned by the elites who are part of this vile cabal, as we're seeing a glimpse into it. We're only seeing a glimpse into it. Believe me, anything that was really damning in these files is long shredded. It's long gone. Everything you're seeing is being deployed by one side or the other against the other. Don't forget it. Don't believe for a minute what's happening. So it's time for wakey. These elites, particularly in the European Union. So the Epstein list was predominantly based in the US, okay? What about the European Union? What about the European elites, the Rothschilds? What about von der Leyen? What about Heiko, her husband? What about all these creepy people who are involved in this sort of Masonic secret society morass, this kind of up to their tits in this really dark treacle of corruption and perversion? These are very, very fucking sick and dangerous people. The only people who are calling them out, people like Vladimir Putin, who call them satanic, said these are satanic people. This move towards this transgenderism, this radical, almost Nazi-like LGBT stuff. And we see that transgenderism was probably a fad that was forced and pushed by media. If you look at some recent German studies, I think a Swiss study shows that it's tailing off. People have had enough of it. All of this stuff was deployed against more conservative Christian or Muslim societies you were meant to see them as backward. The Serbs, the Hungarians, the Russians. These are the bad guys. These are the bad guys because they don't believe that your kid can go to school on a Monday as a boy and come home on a Tuesday as a fucking girl. They are bad for that. Okay. Meanwhile, the people who are having sex with children, we're the good guys. It's time to fucking wake up to the reality of this cabal that has been telling you one thing and doing the other. Now that goes on in politics and in great power politics for centuries. But we're at a time in the world now where these people will do anything. As I've said consistently, they will do anything to distract from the reality. just like the Europeans, as we're told by Peter Siarto, in meetings with the European foreign ministers, they are saying we're not ready for peace in Ukraine. We don't want it. We're too far up the pipe. We've backed this horse. We're going to drag it across the finish line. It doesn't matter what happens. We want to push Russia to the point where it has to act and strike a NATO country, because that's what they did to start this war. They pushed Russia to the point where it had to cross the border to intervene to defend its own people, to defend this against this existential threat against the existence of the Russian state. That's what they want. They want a giant war of distraction. I've said it again and again and again, and you're starting to see that reality unfold now. You're being lied to day in, day out by the mainstream media, telling you that trains carrying Nazis to the front to kill Russians, when they're attacked by the Russians, that they're civilian trains. I published yesterday pictures of the men that were killed there. Nazis fighting since 2014. Nazis. That's what this is about. This is about protecting the Fourth Reich in Europe and elsewhere. This is the reality of where we are right now. Stay awake to it. Stay awake to it. Surely now people are starting to see that the Ukro scam was a massive deployment of energy, intelligence, money to try to destabilize Russia at any cost. It doesn't matter. The cost is anything. War in Iran, war in the Middle East, war in Palestine, war in South America. It's about distraction. It's not even about ideology anymore, like it might have been in the Cold War. It's not about ideology. It's about distraction from the putrid, evil elites in the West who are determined to take your right to have cash in your pocket, to take your right to have an opinion. The British police now have the right to take everything from your telephone, every picture you've ever taken, every conversation you've ever had. Without a warrant, they can take it from your telephone at a port or at a police station without even charging you. They just have to arrest you. That's the reality of where we are. The British mother of all parliaments. It's been taken off you. We've been sleepwalked into the complete oppression of your rights in Europe in particular. Journalists being sanctioned. In Germany, people being deported. I was deported from Romania for going to tell the story about the theft of the election there. Calin Georgescu was elected as the leader of Romania completely legally, and they cancelled the election because the wrong guy won. This is the reality of the Euro Reich right now. Von der Leyen, an unelected dictator, who is now going to ramp up war on information, war on anybody who dares to speak out. Look at the reality of what's happened. It's time to wake up. Even surely my enemies understand that. Surely even my enemies understand that. Come on, let's wake up. Because this tide, as it rises, will lift all the boats or drop all the boats in the harbour. Everybody will lose their right to disagree. Your right to disagree is a fundamental right. Your right not to go along. Your right to shout out as loud as you can that what's happening is wrong. Your right to worship, your right to your religion, your right to an opinion is being undermined right now, and your right to private relationships too. Remember, this is a concerted concert of actions against the citizen, against the individual in Europe. Europe is not a country, remember. None of these people were elected by the citizens of Europe. They were elected by a tiny cabal of MEPs. You know, so wake up. It's time to wake up now. Surely we see what's actually going on. Keep your heads up.
Okay, I mean, I didn't agree with everything he said, but some of it was right. Obviously, some of it I thought was a load of rubbish. But I mean, it's interesting. What I thought was wrong. I mean, he's right that the elites in the West are corrupt, but this idea that the bad guys on the other side are, you know, in any way wholesome, saintly, or good, is delusional. Why does it have to be a matter of opposites? Why can't it be that we live in a world where elites are, no matter what side of the Overton window they're on, are likely to be corrupt, malignant, malicious, malevolent, whatever you want to say. Why does he think The other side of the fence is any better? What do you think, guys?
I agree with you, mate. I think that's a wise thing to say. Yeah, it's not about. I think. I mean, I don't know who he is, but he's obviously, in scare quotes, some kind of influencer. You know.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So he's got his own channel to push, and who knows what he's pushing, but yeah, the idea that you know, you could say, like, even, I mean, you could say the same thing about, you know, World War II. There's the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
Yeah. It is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. I mean,
I've
unfortunately,
heard stories about Putin. I've heard stories about Putin which aren't exactly savory. So
yeah. We've spoke about this before. Unfortunately, it does seem morality is for the plebs, and it's
Right.
it's something that the elites dance around and give homage to because they want the plebs to be controlled, and also they give homage to it as a kind of discipline whereby it makes them look virtuous, it makes them look trustworthy. Because don't forget, all these elites are probably duping each other as well. It's all a game of cloaks and daggers. So they're presenting as this or that and it's all about power, trying to assert more power or gain more power, and it's all just dancing in the shadows, you know.
I agree with you. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. That's all I can say. It's extremely unfortunate. I mean, I do agree with someone who said it's often said here, and that is, ideally, we will have a benevolent AI dictator.
Sorry,
but the chances of that happening as well, I'd say, are slim to none as well. I think this is always a problem. This is always going to be a problem for us as a species, however long left we have, and that is might makes right. Morality is just something that's there to kind of subdue and appease the masses, and it's something that its law is there to basically discipline and control the masses, but at the same time, if you have enough money, you can pay your way out of anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I mean, just look at Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, where is she at the moment? You know,
she's in day-release prison. Day-release prison.
Yeah, she's in a day-release prison, probably doing fucking baking classes and painting pictures. If she was a poor woman, you know, if she was a person, if she was a black lady, you know, involved in pimping out children, you know, in a ghetto in New York or whatever, I don't think they'd be so lenient, would they? And it's all because of power, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, though you know, it is kind of put into like a perspective. Like these other countries, you know, their leaders don't have like these scandals. It's usually about other things.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, look, let's be honest. Whether we like it or not, there's other things going on. You know, sure, we don't know about the paedophilia shit.
And I would also say that free speech plays a lot into that as well. You know, like a pleb in Russia isn't going to start speaking out against Putin.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
Yeah, it's funny how he said also, you know, Kim Jong-un, as if you know, you know.
Yeah, but that guy's obviously a sly bugger. He's getting up to all kinds of shit. Of course he is.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un. Yeah, his background is a bit shady. I heard, or I've read.
A bit
shady. you can look up some of the North Korean properties that they rented here in the past in London. They rented kind of nondescript houses in different parts of London, and they were literally running boiler rooms. They were running scam offices, basically duping people out of money. You know, they were doing all manner of things, and the money. They're heavily. They were. I presume they still are heavily involved in criminal activities and sending it back to the North Korean coffers. You know, heavily involved in all manner of stuff.
Yes, Doc. Do you know during
if I'm not here tomorrow, you know who got me. Sorry.
Yes, Doc. Do you know during the Second World War, England, this sublime little country, its field marshal was a German aristocrat. And the admiral of the fleet was also German aristocrat. Did you know that? The war was being fought by Germans against the Germans, literally.
No, I truly believe that because
It's written down in the book. There's a book called And What Do You Do? And this guy breaks down the whole story of the royals. And also during the Second World War, and this is amazed me people don't see it, that Hitler pushed all the Allied forces onto the beach at Dunkirk, then turned around and let them all go over the space of a fortnight. And you're saying that World War II wasn't fixed. That was fixed. All of it. It must have been, to let them all go back to England unharmed. He had them, all of them. 400,000 soldiers on Dunkirk. Let them all go. Let's go off to Russia now. After all that fighting those German guys must have done, because I like the Germans, but that's the truth about the Second World War.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's
until
written down. It's actually, I've got a book on the subject.
Yeah, and of course the royal family has
Oh yeah, they're Germans anyway.
they have German
They're Germans, and they are Germans full stop, because Mountbatten means Battenberg, German, and of course Saxe-Coburg, the Queen is a Saxe-Coburg.
Yep, so they're German. They're not even like ethnically English or
Yeah,
British.
they're not. It's a joke. The whole thing is a big joke, and it amazes me people don't see it, because that escape from Dunkirk took over the space of a fortnight. Little ships going from England to Dunkirk, picking up all the men to take them back to the UK. And people say, "Oh, we won the war. We won the war." Yeah, because it was a scam. That's why England won the war. It was all one big scam. It sickens me. It does.
Yeah.
And the same with the Dutch royal family. The Dutch royal family are German too, and they were at war with the Germans. I mean, it was just insane. So I know a lot about the Second World War.
Second World War, yeah, of course.
A real scam. That was such a scam.
Of course.
People don't even see it.
Yeah, it was a scam. Yeah, and like it was like, you know, I mean, like in the end, you know what else is a lie is the fact that America did all the heavy lifting for the Allies. No, that was the Soviet Union who did the most of like the work against the Germans, because they lost the most men, you know, during the war.
There was something weird going on, something very strange. I don't get anyone says that he let them all go back to England. 500,000 almost. Weird.
What does David Icke have to say about it?
He doesn't say anything about it. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying what I wrote. There's a book called And What Do You Do? And it's all about the royals, and it's written in there. And it's a book that's out in print. So obviously there must be an element of truth in it.
You know, sometimes I think that David Icke is like a controlled opposite.
Yeah, he's a shill. He's a shill. Because
Yeah,
you know, with black magic, you have to tell your victim what you're planning for them for the spell to actually be effective.
Yeah.
That is the law of black magic.
And question, does he actually mean like reptiles rule also, or is that just like a metaphor? Does he actually mean that or no?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems a bit hard to believe that there are reptiles. But
He did an interview recently where he went into that. Basically, the short answer is yes.
Wow.
But he has an explanation behind it.
Wow.
It's hard to believe. Very hard to believe. But nothing would surprise me. I suspect we are being commandeered by a load of reptiles. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie.
Sorry, say that again. Say that. Sorry, I missed that bit. Yeah, what were you talking about?
David Icke. I'm actually just going to find the link now. He did a podcast with Liam Tufts, I think his name is.
About the reptiles, yeah.
And he was talking about the lizard people, and I think the conclusion was that he does literally believe in these lizard people, but there's an explanation behind it. So, I mean, whatever, whether you want to believe it or not, up to you.
If you do you want us to play that video?
Hang on a minute. Let me. I'll see if I can find the.
You can look for. I'm just going to play this one. It's about Pam Bond.
Oh, this one. She had a complete freak out.
To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand. And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
Oh, yep.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand.
Every single survivor we selected for this meeting.
You apologize to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information.
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi,
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness get to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
that's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer. So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this?
I am reclaiming my time, and when I
will
reclaim my
continue
time,
to
it is
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady has reclaimed
I'm
her
not going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll
this.
direct it to
What a
you.
massive
No, I'm
cover-up.
answering a
Mr.
question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness is
I'm not gonna
interrupted.
get in the gutter with this woman.
Stop the
She's
time
doing theatrics.
and let me have my time.
The gentlelady from Washington controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final
Thank you.
17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only to then say that there was no list. Your deputy, Todd Blanche, met alone with Ghislaine Maxwell and transferred her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the cover-up. And I wish that you would turn around to the survivors who are standing right behind you and on a human level,
Chairman,
Chair now recognizes the chair.
and what you have done.
Time of the gentlelady
yield
expired. The gentlelady, you have no time to yield back. We appreciate that. We appreciate the thought.
Okay.
Yeah, that's American politics for you right now. It is, you know.
Yeah, no, it's terrible, isn't it?
It is. It is. Why do you think
Very
I'm
much.
getting out of here soon? You know, like
Yes, you lucky thing. I wish I was young enough to start somewhere else.
Yeah, it's
I'm very unhappy
very
here.
soul crushing, you know, to know that the leaders here are just cannibalistic freaks, you know.
Yeah, but it's the same everywhere. I think the whole world's at it, to be honest. But
I
at
just
least
gave
if
you
go
the
abroad,
interview
you're in a nicer
DW
country.
on X. I think that's
you've
a
saved-
timestamp
all right, okay.
link. But I
Okay,
think
thank you.
that's where he discusses the lizardies.
Okay.
Nice.
I hope it's the right one. I'm not going to guarantee it, but I've just gone through. Hopefully, that's the right place.
Yeah, but like the coding in the language of the emails is pizza. That's just weird.
They have two energetic fields. We have an energetic field, the human field, right? Now, okay, oh dear. Again, you know, you have to go into certain background about the nature of reality itself before shapeshifting becomes explainable.
You know, people are going to struggle with the words reality and aliens in the same sentence.
Yeah, well, they can struggle how they like. I'm only interested in what's going on. So let's put it this way. One of the things that's very, very clear to me is as this technological explosion is unfolding, getting more and more faster and faster, it's actually mirroring the very reality that we're experiencing and the way we experience it. So in this room probably is Wi-Fi. And Wi-Fi is encoded in a radiation field with all the information of the internet. if I get a computer, but we can't see it, where's the frickin' Wi-Fi? It's outside visible light, so we can't see it. So then you get a computer. And what the computer does is decode the Wi-Fi. And it decodes the Wi-Fi and it puts it on the screen in a completely different form to how it exists in the Wi-Fi field. It's graphics, it's moving pictures, it's words, whatever. And the inside the computer is where the decoding is going on. So we're looking at the screen, but actually everything's going on inside the computer. So then, this is why I call the human body a biological computer. When you do the research into how the body works, and this again is mainstream science, the five senses, which is how we interact with this reality we think is real, are picking up waveform information. A wonderful example, perfect example, is the ears. I'm talking to you now, but there's not words passing between us. What's passing between us is a frequency field of information generated by my vocal cords. Your ears pick up those sound waves, they turn them into electrical signals, they communicate them electrically to the brain, and different parts of the brain specialize in decoding the different senses. So the visual part is back here somewhere. And then the brain puts together that information into a sense of reality that we think is external to us. And, it looks as if it's external the way we experience it. But actually, it's all going on in here, just as it's going on inside the computer. So all the senses work in the same way. They take frequency information and they turn it into electrical information and communicate it to the brain. So what I'm looking at now is, in its base form, I'm looking at an information field, which is what your body is, my body is. And if you get into quantum physics, the physics below the material world in the deep energetic levels, they've shown this to be true. Nothing that we think is physical is actually physical. I'll give you an example. We are told that physicality is created by atoms, right? Atoms are empty. They have no solidity. There's a great phrase that describes it. If, an atom is a nucleus and there's then the electrons flying around the nucleus. That's what an atom is. It has no solidity. And as someone said, if you take the nucleus to be the size of a 10-cent piece, then the atom would be the size of a baseball stadium. And virtually everything inside an atom is, quote, empty space. You go into the nucleus and you go into the electrons and it's the same thing. It's empty space. How can empty space create a physical world? It can't, because it's all a freaking illusion decoded by the mind.
How do we explain pain then? If you was to punch me in the nose, that's a physical act and I'm going to feel the force of that and it's going to hurt.
Very, very good question, which can be explained, because
I'm not encouraging you do punch me in the face.
No. I'm not violent. Give me 10 minutes. There are now pain relief techniques, which I came across when my son Gareth was in hospital with a broken leg, and I was chatting to the doctor, and he said, well, we're going to try to do this because these are new pain relief techniques. And what it was they take the point of the pain, in this case your chin, right, and they stop the signal going from the point of impact to the brain, because only when that signal happens do you say ouch, because the brain is decoding the signal into the pain. And
you sure that weren't morphine?
Pain is like everything else, it's a frequency signal which the brain decodes. And it's if we go on in terms of the shape shifting, therefore, I'm looking at you, and I am subconsciously, it's all in a non-conscious way, decoding your energetic information field into what I see as a human, because you are encoded with a human energy field. These hybrids have a human energy field, and they have a non-human energy field, often reptilian, but not always, nothing like. They seem to be a dominant force. And most of the time, they are projecting the human field. So you look at them, and you see a human. And what's happening when people see shape-shifting, and, you know, when people started telling me about this as I traveled around the world, I didn't say, oh, they're shape-shifting reptilians. No, you go, okay, that's interesting, bloody far out, but interesting. And you put it on the back burner and you think, well, I'll see what else comes. And eventually enough common themes have repeated around the world for you to cross the line and say, I'm going to go with this because this seems to be happening. So when the non-human energy field becomes the dominant one, and often it does in things like satanic rituals, so many people taking part in satanic rituals, often against their will, have told me about seeing this shape-shifting phenomenon there, as well as in everyday life, though it's obviously not it's not common, but it's more common than people realize. Suddenly, I'm looking at you, and now your human field has been overridden by your non-human field. Now, as I decode your field into human, and the dominant level of your field becomes non-human, to me, as I look at you, you have shifted physically into a non-human form, but you haven't. It's all in the decoding processes of the brain. What's happened is there's been an energetic information field shift, and therefore I've decoded an apparently physical shift that actually is an illusion.
Is there a chance that I'm a reptile and I don't even know it?
Well, it's interesting, you know, one of the most profound parts of the brain.
Because I'd be very upset if I am a reptile.
Well,
especially if I didn't know it.
First of all, the answer for lots of people is yes. But a lot of people really don't realize this as they laugh at things that I've said over the years. One of the most profound parts of the human brain that impacts fundamentally on human behavior is known by science as the reptilian brain, or the R complex. And it's this bit down the back, from the center down the back, the brain stem. And that's where, if you notice in the Matrix movies, that thing went in the back. That was right in the middle of the reptilian brain. And the reptilian brain is about survival. So it's constantly scanning the environment for threats to survival, not just physical survival. The reptilian brain is activated by, well, I pay the freaking rent at the end of the month. What about my relationship? Is she gonna throw me out? All these things. Am I going to keep my job? What do you think the boss is going to do at the end of the month? Do you think he's going to fire me? This is all reptilian brain. Road rage. You know, when you, where are you, bastard?
Oh, I'm definitely a reptile then.
That's the activation of the reptilian brain. It's a fundamental impact on human behavior.
Before I forget,
the longer I've gone on, the more I don't think that's an accident that we have that.
Well, here's the thing. So you mentioned the Matrix. So do you think that our human reality is a false simulation like the Matrix?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're living in the Matrix?
Yeah. Like I said right at the start, I've been through this sequence, and at every stage, okay, I think I got this, but what don't I know? And this is the sequence it's taken me through. There is a global network of secret societies that are driving human dystopia. Behind that, answering to that, is a non-human force. Then this reality is a simulation. It's very much, you know, when the Matrix movies came out, especially the first one, it was like a breath of fresh air to me, because I thought, here's a visual expression of how I'm seeing it. And I said just after the turn of the millennium that I felt that this was a simulated reality, and simulated for what? To control our perceptions, for reasons that I'm sure we'll come to.
So does that mean nothing really matters then? If you get your heart broken, it doesn't matter. It's not real. Do you know what I mean?
Well, when we get into why the a bit later, maybe why the simulation was created, all those things will become very clear. So I said just after this turn of the millennium that I felt we were in a simulation, and that the human level of the simulation was pretty much the speed of light. So the speed of light appears to be the fastest speed that is possible. It's not, but it appears to be from a science point of view. When actually it's basically the limit of this human level of the simulation. So what I did then is I looked around for anyone else that was saying it. And I found only one guy who was saying it in the public arena. It was a guy called Nick Bostrom, a professor then at Oxford University, who was saying that there's a very good chance this is a simulation. And in his view, it was possibly created by humans in the future, you know, all that stuff. I don't see it like that at all, but I do agree it's a simulation. And I said that I felt the speed of light was the limit at this level of it, or one of the limits. And then from about 2016, mainstream scientists started kicking in and saying, well, this does look like it's a simulation. And not only that, if it is, it suddenly makes so much sense that doesn't make sense otherwise in physics and what have you. There was a guy called Rich Terrell. He worked at NASA in the computer area of NASA. And he came out in the papers in 2016, 17, and said that he felt that this was a simulation, a holographic simulation, which is what I said years and years before. And that what we call physicality is actually holographic. You see where holographic technology has gone now. And that if it's a simulation, then it's clearly not natural, is it? So some form of intelligence had to create it. And this has gone on now. There's another guy called Silas Bean. He led he's a physicist. He led a team at the University of Bonn to investigate, is this a simulation? And he and his team came to the conclusion that it probably was. They even proposed that it was probably based on some kind of cube matrix, and that we wouldn't know about it as we experienced it. And then you've got a guy called Max Tegmark at MIT, who wrote a book, Our Mathematical Universe, I think it was called. And he was pointing out, not that it was a simulation, but what he was pointing out was that everything can...
Sorry? You just sent me a message, okay.
Yeah.
Guys, I am actually finding him quite interesting, but we can't watch too much of the video.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long.
Yeah, but I am actually finding him interesting. Now,
it's a really interesting conversation. I watched the whole thing. It's really good.
Really?
It
Yeah,
is.
I'll definitely check it out.
Like
Oh,
it's
I
interesting
didn't
to hear how he gets his
expect that.
ideas. Now the question is, of course, how the fuck does he know all this? you know?
Exactly. Like, what is his
He's
like
pull- it- like,
epistemology?
he's pulled a really interesting theory out of his ass.
Yeah, essentially,
because
out of nowhere.
he can't show any receipts for it. Where is this coming from? Now, is he somebody that says he gets downloads from somewhere? Because I've heard this as an explanation. People get intuition, inspiration, ideas from somewhere else, and they just come to them, and
Yeah, but
then
wouldn't that
things
just
make
mean
sense. I mean, I've never heard David give give an explanation of how he comes to these ideas.
He's a
where they.
shill.
Yeah.
Well,
No, the thing is, right, DW, I keep saying this, Stu, okay?
No, I
It's
don't know.
all
I don't
people.
know. Look, I don't think it's fair to call him a shill. I don't know what the man's mindset is. He
Well,
may
how-
well genuinely believe these things.
Well,
He
you
may
just-
well.
I'm not saying he believes so. I'm not saying they're not true.
No,
But,
they
right,
may not. I'm not saying they're true either. I'm saying even if they are false, he may genuinely believe these things. I'm saying we don't know for sure.
it's all
Your point, though,
The
is
man.
correct,
I will say
DW.
one thing. Sorry.
Your point is correct. Even in that whole, I think it's about 2.5 hour conversation.
Yeah.
There's lots of information, but there's no sources.
Yeah.
No, nothing. It's
Of
all
course.
just.
I've always said he's
theories,
a shill. I've
hypotheses.
always said he wasn't.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't say he's a shill,
No,
but more
to give
so-
him his due, I would like him to sit down and say where he's getting these ideas from.
Yeah, exactly.
If he could, I've never heard him say. I'd accept. I wouldn't say it's something that we should pin everything to. But if he said, "Look, these ideas come to me from a source outside of myself. I don't know where I'm getting these ideas from, but they seem to make sense when I talk about them." But he's never given even that explanation. Now that's the simplest
Yeah, but
explanation.
DW
I
sort of
would
did
like
it-
him to get into it.
And then
DW
at the
all
end,
to do with black magic and witchcraft. And with black magic and witchcraft, the rule is you have to inform your victims of what you're going to do to them.
that's true.
Oh, here's
That's
Vegan
part of the rule.
Equilibrium. Now, Vegan Equilibrium
hey, what's
came on
up?
here yesterday, crowing about we're all coping because we're saying that. What is it you said, Vegan Equilibrium? That some people are extremely happy because they are born gifted in some way or other, or multiple ways, and the rest of us are coping because we're not enjoying life all the time, or we're not enjoying life to a high level. I do want to talk about that again because I think it's an interesting topic. But I mean, I also think you're in danger of seeing reality too black and white, brother.
Yeah, it is.
That to me, that sounded like typical black and white thinking. That people either have an extremely wonderful life or don't, and there's no possibility of someone who isn't at the top of society, for example, in some area, having a good life. I mean, what is your view? What is a good life, Vegan Equilibrium?
I never said that, by the way.
Oh, did I mischaracterize you? What did you say? Sorry, Fatima, you were here. What did he say?
What did he say? That vegan. I can't remember exactly because our conversations are long.
I've mischaracterized it, and I'm sorry. He says
He's saying that rich people, I think, have more happier lives, or like they feel more happier than us. I think that's what he's saying.
I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I said some people do everything lines up for them, and they do have genuinely happy lives, and they feel fulfilled and satisfied, and I think, and I just think that, I think that does happen for some people, and there's a lot of people out there that cannot even fathom being on that tier or being at that level where good shit just comes to you because it happens to so few of us.
Yes,
I mean, like to
a degree, but like, what is good shit? This has to be ascertained. What is the good
Well,
shit
sure,
you
it's
are
it's subjective, but there are general desires, like there are universal desires, even if they are subjective, that are they're just universally, it's like something that most people strive for.
Like what, like a home and stuff like that, and food and water.
No, they're just basic desires.
Give us a list of them if you want.
Yeah, Liz. Yeah, be more
Well,
specific.
I'll give you a very superficial one. You got So remember we were talking about the looks maxing community at one point.
Oh, that.
Like
Oh, looks.
they're all trying to achieve. They're all trying. I'm not saying it's just in this thing. This is just an example. All right. So don't pin it to just this one area. But they're all striving they're all striving to reach some pinnacle of like, you know, having, I don't know, the girlfriend who's a 10 and or the guy who's like a 10 or whatever, or Chad or whatever, and you know, just have their needs fulfilled and feel like completely like they're mogging everyone else and they're superior. And I really believe that there are maybe a few people out there that were able to reach that height, that top. They got it. They got what like most other people don't get in that regard. And then everyone else that is like creating that community, they basically are idealizing those people and just doing everything they think they can do to try and reach that.
Yeah.
You know, what's never going to happen for them, because it's just not, things just won't line up like that, you know? No, that's one example. For some people it could be whatever their hobby is. You know, there's a lot of subcultures out there, right? You know, and in the generally what subcultures are is it's based around some interest, and who like fulfills the like prime archetype of whatever that subculture is. And there are some people who it will just fall in their lap, or they may work to it to a certain degree, but they are able to just achieve it and it works for them. And then there's other people
I get it.
that are gonna work forever.
I get it. Now, Jackie says we can't all be winners, but she does agree with you. She says only some people are lucky. That's like, but if the point is, you're looking at it through one lens. So you might be looking at it through the aesthetic or the skills in their hobby. That's one facet of their being. It doesn't mean that everything else lines up wonderfully. And they may look, beautiful women attract lots of guys. Very, very handsome guys attract women easier, for sure. But I've spoken to beautiful women, and I mean stunningly beautiful women, and they've said a lot. They've often said the same thing to me. They say, when we were younger, guys didn't approach us. We were lonely, and the guys that did approach us were jerks. They were overly confident doofuses, or even narcissistic psychopaths. So what I'm saying is, you've got to be careful how you view an individual. Just because they,
I think that
one area doesn't mean that everything for the rest of their life is going to be.
I think that you're assuming that I don't think that. I made the point to say that it's a chosen few that get to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the point is,
I think what it feels like you're saying is like that.
I'm asking
you know,
what? I'm asking you, so what? Does that last forever? Why are you pinning so much?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is they get it. They get it. They have it more than what anybody else has, and there's just this weird situation where there's these people that are kind of like cucked, jerking off in the corner, metaphorically speaking, and the people that are winning and getting all the gold, you know, and getting all the good, and euphoria, the endorphins, whatever, you know. So I'm just saying it's a weird thing. Like, I believe.
Look, I'll bring it back. It is one way of getting endorphin boosts, but as I've spoken to people here, and there are many ways of people maxing out their endorphins, getting.
Okay, I'm gonna give you another. I'll give you another example.
You call that cope.
Well, no, I'm gonna give you another example. There's some people I think that get through life without ever really doing anything too bad or like morally questionable or anything. Like they make like a few minor social faux pas here and there, but they actually
that's a matter of perspective. I mean,
I don't know. I just really think there's people that can rest.
Someone might, from another vantage point, someone might say that person who seems to have an easy life, they're not doing anything wrong. Maybe from a different vantage point, someone might say, well, silence is violence. That person hasn't been irked by what's
All
going
right,
on.
okay, I know, but the silence is violence person is generally someone with a personality disorder. So
not necessarily.
I
wouldn't say that all.
Okay. I understand everything's.
There is a thing.
There usually is some like.
There is a thing bandied about called white privilege. Now, I think it is overused, but I do think that it is the case sometimes. That sometimes.
Sure. Okay. I'm not talking about these things. I'm not talking about these things. I'm talking about a person. They've even done the right thing in terms of recognizing whatever privilege they have. That they're even keeled. They are well adjusted. They haven't made any big major mistakes that have fucked up their psyche and fucked up
you bring me one of these people, I might believe you that they exist.
Okay, I'm just saying I believe there are a few that exist.
I think you're making a fairy tale live on air.
No, I think I believe that there's probably people like that exist. It's okay. For example, so show. No, this is the difference. This is a difference. It's like saying how it's extremely rare to win the lottery.
Can
of course, we hear
or D&W turn up, please.
Yeah.
D&W
to win the lottery.
Noodles come down. Just really difficult to listen to. Cheers.
Yeah, it's kind of.
You know how it's extremely rare to win the lottery. It's like at least the thing with the lottery is that it gets broadcasted who wins it, but it's extremely rare. There are these people, I believe, that win the lottery, except there's not going to be any news about, oh, this person like has made the least amount of mistakes. You know what I mean? It's just that it is probably it's because of the probability factor it happens, but it's so rare.
You got to analyze it a bit further. What is a mistake? Is it a mistake because it made other people's lives worse?
I'm talking about general universal.
I think it's how you frame it. Sometimes
all right, I just don't think I understand. This is like
whether you like it or not. It's a matter of framing. Now, a mistake can be.
Okay. I'm talking about I'm making generalizations based on what people commonly feel, how people generally commonly feel about things. Like, yeah, it's you could say, oh, murder being bad is a subjective thing, but generally most people think murder is bad. So we're talking in that sort of sense right now. All right. Anyway, I gotta.
So you're saying if someone doesn't kill myself, they've led. Sorry, if someone doesn't kill someone, they've had a charmed life.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm using as an You're not tracking. I'm saying
pick a better example.
No, I'm saying that if I'm using that as an example of a general like thing, like idea about what people think is like a mistake or a moral wrong. Like if someone
you're gonna have to pick a more benign one than that, because otherwise we're all having a brilliant charmed existence here. I mean although I do wonder if some of you are serial killers. But go ahead, sorry.
All right. Anyway, I gotta hop off for a bit. I'll come back later, maybe.
It is a really interesting conversation, so I hope that you do. But I don't know if I'll be back. But it's a conversation worth having, you know. Yeah.
Hopping off D&W brings up serial killers. Very telling.
What was he talking about?
Sorry. I want to apologize for the volume there. And
his audio is kind of loud. We're way too loud. Or like I don't know if
it's an interesting conversation. Now, I get what he's coming to, and I get what but I think, if I'm honest, I think most of us here, we're kind of thinkers, and we think beyond the superficialities of existence, including noodles, and we see beyond the veil. We see beyond what is in front of us, and we know all is not as it seems. Just because someone looks happy doesn't mean they are happy.
Exactly.
Just because they look
no.
like they're good and
That's
virtuous
so
doesn't mean
true.
they are good and virtuous. So I mean, I think unfortunately, I'd have to say it's a very superficial way of looking at things to say that just because someone has all these gifts in like that they're happy or they have a charmed life. I mean, it's not the whole story. Look at Hollywood. How many of these stud muffins and babes end up in rehab, or end up divorced 3 times? I mean, just look. It's to me, it's just not that easy to say.
It's
And as I said, somebody who looks like they've had all the losing cards, they may well be the happiest person that ever lived.
And also, the majority of them,
because it's
get
depending on
surgery.
it's depending on their environment, who's around them as well. There's so many factors here. It's not a simple equation at all.
People in Africa seem pretty happy, like with their family and all that, and they don't have technology and our luxuries and stuff. And yeah, that's the thing. It's interesting because we seem to be quite miserable in general, like compared to like people who are dancing around with their families, because our culture is not family based. Indians and all that, they're having a great time with their families and other cultures, but our culture is like isolating. We're just like alone on our computers talking to randoms, and our families doing.
We need to have a new, like in a courtroom, someone goes objection. We need to have a new one, like generalization. That's a generalization.
Did I say something?
Yeah, you said people in India are always happy because they're family oriented. I think that's a generalization. Like it depends what family you're in. Surely
depends on what kind of family.
I just meant in general. Sorry.
In general, yeah, that's true. No,
I mean, we'll have to ask the Indians if there are any
maybe.
Indians watching. But I mean, I think it's a stretch to say, generalizations are a problem. Now, I'm not. Look, I'm saying that jestfully because I do it all the time as well. I make generalizations all the. In fact, we all do. So it is what we do as humans.
So it's subconscious that we do.
We make a statement. We make a statement about reality, about our lives, about what is going on. And it's almost in denial of the duality of things. There's always a different view. There's always an opposing view, But we often, most of the time, stop ourselves going mad. We declare something to be, even though there's other ways of looking at it.
I think what I mean is that, maybe like a lot of them, or like, okay, maybe it's like some of them are like happier than. So the ones that are on our kind of, maybe like the ones who live near us or something, and they're like seem happier than we are in our. I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess when you start to break it down, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But when I see Indians, talking to their family and dancing together and having fun and running really nice restaurants, like around here, their restaurants are like, wow, awesome, like luxury restaurants compared to our Western restaurants, which are like Macca's and trash. Like the Indian restaurants actually look so nice compared to
They look very
other
nice.
restaurants. Right? They're so flashy, and I'm just like, damn, like and they may not be happy. We have, unless you ask them, and that's assuming that they're not going to
you
lie
go
to
in and ask the pot washer or the chef. I know in London, a lot of them are. Well, it has been the case that a lot of these restaurants, takeaways, have had illegal immigrants working in them, or people, desperate for citizenship, and they're being paid next to nothing.
That happens.
So it's just a fact, and it is what it is. I mean, again, appearances.
That's true.
Anybody else want to come on? Link is in the live chat. I don't know. Yerf, did you want to say anything about that little sideshow, or did you?
Yeah, I would just probably go along, reinforce what you said about generalizations. Got to be careful with that.
Yeah, you do. You have to be careful.
I mean, look, the thing is, we're talking about reality, but you got to remember to like, if you're approaching this reality and you want to be sane and you want to be like reasonable, well, then you've got to carve out your own perspective. And part of that is seeing that, generalizations are happening all around us. But that is not the actual truth of the matter. You know,
Hmm.
the
This
truth
is
of the
going to
matter.
sound very cliche, but going back to what's his name? Frank. No, it's not Frank. Good grief.
No.
I was going to say Frank Zappa, but I mean Zappa.
Yeah, Zappa. Yeah.
His essay, the Last Messiah.
Peter
Is it
Russell
the final or
Zappa?
the last? My God, my memory.
Peter
Am I
Vessel
getting
Zapp.
Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
The Last
Yeah,
Messiah.
Peter Zapp. That's the fella.
Yeah.
The Last Messiah. I mean, he goes into all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Sublimation, addiction.
Yeah, but you see, he presents them.
Grumpy bricks, eh? So grumpy.
He almost presents them as problematic, as if like it's sad that we have to do these things. I think you have to embrace them. I think that they are the tools to try and get by, you know, and you just have to embrace those delusions, those forms of escapism in a healthy way.
You have to, because if you don't, then your other choices.
Death.
So it's not all. What I'm saying, it's not all bad. What I'm saying is we have some tools available to us that help us escape the crushing realization we're in some existential turmoil.
D
You
and W, and you call me an old misery guts. I've never said such reasonable things in my life.
That was actually a call for some kind of decorum and optimism. I was saying existentially, we may be in a despairing place, as in we don't know what the hell's going on, and there's so much going on around us. But those sublimations are important, and they're not something to be. They're something to be taken seriously.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I would. In a sense, though it does generally suck, we have to do them in general. Like there could be some short-term enjoyment in doing them. I do agree with that.
I will say one thing though: some of them, it depends on how you do them. They can be done harmfully.
Look at brother Marcus. He typed something. 2025.
And UK is the second most miserable.
Happiness report.
Well, that's because you're here.
Oh,
I'm joking, Chippy. I love you. You know that. So let Fatima read this comment here from.
I'll just read it. I'll read it over. 2025 edition World Happiness Report. University of Oxford Wellbeing Research Center in partnership with Gallup and the UN Substantial Development Solutions Network. Oh, sorry about that. Finland is the happiest country, but is it really? Like, can we really talk to every Finnish like individual in the world and say if they're happy? There's like 5 million of them in the world.
I find that hard to believe because it's a cold country. They suffer from the daylight problems. In the winter.
It's so cold there.
And if you go to Scandinavia, a lot of them are on antidepressants. Finland is obviously next door. Yeah. I don't know.
They say Holland's
top 10. Look, here we go. You can read that.
Holland's
Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Netherlands, Costa Rica, Norway, Israel, Luxembourg. Okay, yeah, this I don't trust this graph at all because most of these countries are in like the cold region, which, as you said, the NW, you have to rely on antidepressants and the one that really gets me is Mexico. Like, are you serious? Like, I love Mexico. I love the culture and stuff like that. But like, it's kind of rough down there. In some, not all of it. Some places are very nice and very safe, but other places,
it depends where you ask these things. Now, I will say one thing that's popped into my mind. This may be a cultural phenomenon. It may be that these Scandinavian and the Finnish people are these Nordic countries. Maybe they are somewhat stoic. Maybe they're doing something that is expected of them when they're answering these questions. Because I know when I was younger, if someone asked me a survey when I was young, I may have just done what was expected of me, answered in a way that I saw as socially acceptable. I've done market research before. I worked in it for a little bit when I was a student, as a part-time job, and I do remember, people a lot of the time, you know what they're going to say. They're going to say the answer that they're kind of expected to say. Now, I think that's a problem. Sorry.
D&W, Scandinavians moan more. Holland is known for being a moany, groany country.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm a
said that before.
And apparently, like Barbara Ehrenreich said, if you moan and groan, you're less likely to be depressed. And I know that about the Dutch, certainly, and the Germans. They tend to be moany and groany, which is good. You should have a
Nordic
good
countries dominate the top due to strong social safety nets, high trust, low corruption, and a good work-life balance, and access to
Is that
nature.
really
Yeah.
true though? Because like I hear a lot of stories from like the Scandinavian countries now, and like their government is not being so clean anymore, and like high
Yes,
trust
it's
is
going
going away
downhill.
now.
Yeah,
And
it's all
social
going downhill. All Europe
safety.
is.
I thought everywhere in the EU, social safety and welfare was kind of going down in
Yeah,
quality.
it's all going downhill.
Exactly. So I don't trust these polls because I don't trust like stats in general. They're useful, you know. Like I prefer, you know, like I don't know, but like stats are not a good measurement all of the time. They're a good starting point, but they're not the end all be all of all things, you know. Because
How do you know the difference between good stats and bad stats?
Well, Brother Marcus is here
Well,
saying
I
they
don't
tried
know.
their best.
That's why I will do more research on them. But I'm just not gonna look at I'm not gonna open up a social media app and look at a stats from an infographics and say, "Aha, this is the end all be all of all of this."
But if do you like if you saw a standard distribution, would you understand how all that sort of stuff works?
I would. I don't understand that, but like I'll do my best to like do the. I just look past graphs and
I remember doing all that stuff
and I read
my undergrad.
like the sources that they give, and I go on from there. I don't just stop at the images, if you know what I mean. You know, I don't stop at those things.
Brother Marcus says in that research, the researchers analyzed averages over recent years and correlated them with key factors like GDP per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, freedom to make life choices.
Well, I think it's a lot to do with the moaning and the groaning, because the Scandinavians like to have a good old wine every day. I know that about them.
Wasn't there a thing out there a few years ago? Some word, they have a special word for like kind of spoiling yourself, like as in looking after yourself.
Oh yeah, it's called yeah, I know what it's called. I can't remember at the moment.
We don't have that word in English, so it's probably a cultural thing.
Yeah, the Dutch and the Germans and Scandinavians, where they have this thing where
that's it, Heige or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's it. That's the word. Yes, and that does help.
That
and you don't,
that became quite popular a few years back. I remember.
Yeah, I used to do. Yeah, they're not so. And they don't have this happy clappy shit on the go all the time. They don't.
I mean, I've kind of said it on this channel. People do need to take time out to kind of enjoy themselves, like do something luxurious for yourself. Make yourself happy.
I agree with that.
I mean, it's not something I was never brought up to think about these things, but it's definitely part of the kind of self-care routine people should consider, like rewarding yourself, doing something you enjoy for yourself, you know. Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yes, that helps.
I agree with that 100%. You should always treat yourself every now and then, because
lots of plants and flowers.
Do it mindfully. Do it mindfully. Like do it. Make it like do it with a bit of. You have to have your brain on it. Like be aware that you're doing it for that purpose. You know.
Yeah, of course.
There's a big difference between, say, eating a nice dessert as a kind of mindful act of like treating yourself, and reaching into the back of the fridge and stuffing your face with a vegan trifle, you know. But no, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, it's how you do it. It's how you think about it that matters.
I think there's more to do with flowers and pretty plants and having a nice bath with loads of essential oils. That sort of thing helps.
Ricardo likes flowers as well.
Yes, lots of flowers.
I thought you guys were going to the like traveling, expensive hotels, like luxury living. I didn't think that. I mean, anyone can do the stuff that you're talking about. You don't need money to have dessert.
Well, daily. It depends how you want to implement this. Do you want to do it daily?
Depends, yeah. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I treated myself when I was in Cancun in a nice resort hotel. It was very, very It was very nice.
Yeah, that's
very,
what I'm talking about.
very
As far as I'm
upright.
aware, though, the Higa is like part of daily life. It's like little things that you do for
Yeah,
yourself.
it's
It's
little things
mindfulness,
too.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
It's
And then,
mindfulness.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
obviously
anyone
going
can
on
do that.
holiday is a major act of Higa, but it does the Higa in and of itself isn't like a week-long thing. It's like a
No,
part of
it's
the
an
day.
everyday thing.
yeah, which is
Imagine
Yeah, no.
you could do whatever you want whenever you want. I reckon a lot of people would be way happier if they didn't have to work and they could just do, if we had the freedom to just do whatever we want whenever we want, which may be the future. Like very far into the future, they may ditch the money system and then everyone can just do whatever they want. It's just that they will be required to, people still work in a sense, but it's like if they've already got whatever they want, it's like, well, you have a choice. If you want to go to a restaurant, people have to be there making the food. So either we don't go out and there are no restaurants running, there are no airports running, there's no workplaces running, or you run these places without a payment because you don't need it anyway. You already have everything you want, but people will still contribute because if they don't contribute, the consequences of not contributing is we don't have these things. But you can have like everyone's on the same level of equal because we can just get. I don't know how it would work, but like that's what I want to live in.
yeah, no, I
I wanna live in
agree.
that system.
And then you have Spain and like Italy and like Greece with their siesta culture. It's where you just rest all throughout the day. You know, the siesta culture. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah,
that a
but
lot.
that's they work in the
I like
evening instead. It's done so
I don't
because the
need that.
afternoons are so hot. There's a reason for
I
that.
knew
Actually.
Yeah, it's siesta culture. Yeah, it's a very nice culture. You know, you can sleep throughout the entire morning, afternoon, and then in the evening you work for 4 hours, and boom, you get to go to bed or do whatever you want after those 4 hours. Yeah, that's essentially what they do in
Yeah.
Spain. Because I was there in Spain. You know, like I was like, damn, like my family lives there. Like you guys only work like 4 hours. And you can do whatever you want. That's fucking amazing, you know. Like,
But they're meant to work in the morning and then they
Yeah,
have a
it's
little
not
rest.
in the
no,
afternoon.
no,
and work.
it depends. You either work like in the morning or in the day. My family worked in the evening, and they worked between like 3 o'clock to 6, and they got home, and then we had lunch. We had like we went out and did a lot of things. Yeah, but some of them
I
were
suppose
working.
it depends what you're doing, but most
Yeah,
people, I believe, work in the morning, then take a rest for a couple hours or 3
It's
hours,
done because it's
and
too
then they do
hot.
some more.
They do
It's
the
just the
same.
midday
with
sun.
the-
It's basically to avoid the midday sun, basically.
Yes, do
yeah,
midday
the
sun.
midday sun, which is very nice, very nice. Yeah, but yeah, you're right though, because I had another family that worked in the morning, and she took like a 4 hour break in the evening, and then she can go into the night if she wants to or not. Yeah, it's very nice, you know. What does Gaia say? Heidi is honestly sort of a perfect case study for the difference between proportional knowledge, the label as described, and procedural knowledge, the philosophy as a lived practice. I guess. Yeah, because it sounds pretty like lofty when you describe
Actually,
it.
Grump, what did you? I sent you a thing asking you to look at a 10-second video of a video you put up yourself. That one where that man is saying to his son, "This is what you're going to inherit." Blah blah blah. You know the I sent you a thing for it. What did you think of that?
I didn't watch it, Chickpea.
Oh,
Sorry.
Grump.
Heidi is a Danish concept that describes.
Can you tell me what it's about? Sorry. Go ahead.
It's one of yours. It's on your channel, and it's about. There's a picture of a barren landscape, and this man called Joshua is talking to his son or son to be, saying, "This is your future, and this is what you're going to work for." Blah blah blah. It's about 10 seconds long.
I'll go and have a look at it now.
It's fabulous.
Okay.
I see.
Go
I
ahead,
sent
Fatima.
Okay, Heigi is a Danish concept that describes a deep sense of coziness, containment, and well-being derived from simple, comforting experiences. Yeah, that's essentially what I want, you know, like in my general life.
That's very European. That's very Scandinavian.
It's also
They
very
practice the
Southeast
same.
Asian too, because in Thailand they have like a similar concept of like working easy and not making a skeptical of yourself. That's for like the ordinary people. Like you work like street food, you sweep, but at least you're doing something. But you're doing something that helps out the entire community. It's very it's very like a
get lots of
communal
cats.
based.
If you Get lots of cats. Here's another cat. Then you'll be happy. Here's another one. Look at this one. This little girl. Look.
Oh wow. Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, she's such a sweetie. Mm. They're the only thing that cheer me up. That's why I'm all showing them off to everybody.
Of course, yeah, those cats are nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't live without my cats. I don't know how people live without pets. I don't understand.
No, yeah. Speaking of Thailand, do you like the Siamese cat?
I love all cats. Of course, I like Siamese cats. I
love
like
those
all
ones.
cats.
Those ones have blue eyes, like green,
Yeah,
like blue eyes. I
They
love
are
those. They're just
gorgeous.
so beautiful, so beautiful.
Gorgeous. No, I think cats are the most beautiful creatures on the planet.
Yeah, that is not on my. That was not my channel. That thing you sent me. That short about the Lion King. No, that's not my channel.
No, not what have I gone and done this time? I'll go have a browse around.
You sent me something about the Lion King, and it's look, Simba. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. But what if I don't want this, Daddy?
Oh yes, that's it. Yeah,
kidding.
the Lion
Yeah,
King.
that's not my channel. That's some channel called Joshua S.
Yeah,
John.
that's why. Yeah, that's why I
don't know.
said it.
Yeah.
What did you think of
Okay.
it? I love it. I think it's
All right.
gorgeous.
Thank you to Yerf Dogs. He's off and out for his day. Thank you for joining us.
But what did you think of that 10-minute? That 10
I did-
seconds? I think
I-
it's gorgeous.
I didn't watch it
Why not?
because
I
I
sent
just I know what it's going to be about. It's going to be. Is it about AN? Is it?
Yes, of course it is. That's why I sent it to
I
you.
just can't be asked. I've seen that kind of thing before. I know what it's going to say. Doesn't solve anything. Doesn't mean anything. It's just complaining.
Yeah, but that's right. That's okay, isn't it?
It is what it is. Yeah, I suppose it serves a cathartic purpose, but that's all.
There's a lot of truth in it. Well, yeah. I don't think I'm going to change your mind, am I? No. Keep
Well, do you want me to
trying.
bring it on here and watch it here for you? Is that what you want me to do?
No, so it's up to you if you don't like
I'll
it.
do it.
thought you
I'll
could-
do it.
All right. Well, what do you think, everybody?
I'll do it.
Do it.
It's only 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds. That's
Bloody hell.
good.
Love it.
Let's see.
Here you go. Here's what Chickpea bullied me into watching.
Ah.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's see here.
Look, Simba. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. But what if I don't want this kingdom? Looks pretty shitty and destroyed. You have no choice in the matter. I birthed you into this wasteland, and now you are its slave.
But I thought you were king. Doesn't that make me prince or something like that?
Of course not.
It's kind of funny.
You will toil
I love it.
and work all the days of your life.
Yeah, there you
And you
go.
will have need and desire.
Yes.
And there will be nothing that will ever fulfill you.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
This is
Generalization.
No, it's not.
As
No,
my
it's not.
He's a king. He has to be responsible.
What kind of father are you?
Oh, I love it.
The father.
Oh,
The father
No,
who is
God.
It's a real work of art. I love it.
Look.
Yeah, it's a good piece. It's a nice
Love
little piece
Yeah.
of art. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
that's funny.
real
No,
work
no,
of art.
seriously, like, let's talk about that, dude. The Lion King is actually very, very, very like fucked up as like a story, even without
It kind of is, isn't it? When you look at it.
without freaking should I just spoil it? Like, or what?
Well, we've all watched it, so it's
Okay,
all right.
so
Well, how can you spoil it? It's what it's saying is true.
well, of course.
You are.
No, what I was gonna say is that
No,
like,
he's talking about the original Lion King.
yeah, well,
Chickpeas.
the original Lion King, even if Mufasa didn't die, like the circle of life is pretty one-sided and unfair for anybody. Like okay, so the antelope still gets eaten, lions
Yeah.
don't get eaten when they're
Well,
alive.
they do. They do. They get eaten when they die, don't they? By the flips
Yeah,
hyenas.
but that they're not like being hunted by other apex predators like they are. They're
But they have a
usually
horrible death.
yeah,
in
horrible
real life, they get eaten by hyenas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They
true.
still
Yeah,
get
okay. Yeah, true. Yeah, but still, like still, the antelope is still good. Is still gonna be more of a prey. It's more.
Yes, I know.
vulnerable.
It's all dog. It's all survival of the fittest, isn't it? And the lion is at the top.
And also the fact that Simba didn't want that life. It was Scar that wanted the king to be the king. So
Yeah.
And we all know that Simba didn't really want it, or not want, but like he was going to be irresponsible about it, you know, because he didn't take it too seriously. So I think that Simba should have just gave it over to Scar, honestly, because like it's kind of unfair for a child to have that responsibility in their lifetimes to be king. Yeah, the Lion King. Yeah. And also,
unless you're Noodles would say it's they won the lottery. You know, if you're going to be born, you may as well be born to be a king.
What the hell? Oh yeah, that's weird. I don't know what he was arguing about. Honestly, that's just a weird.
Actually, it's the first time I've ever agreed with him on something. I agreed with him. That's the first time I've actually agreed with him.
Some people are just born with luck in their hearts, and
if you're born into, I don't care what anyone says, if you're born into the look at all what's name is married.
I agree with the idea that it's deterministic. Yeah, but I think he makes it sound like it's a simple process. You know, it's not, and it's not always the case that just because someone has something doesn't mean their life is going to be good. Just because they have attributes that are attractive or they're well endowed in terms of intelligence or whatever, it doesn't mean their life's going to be a better rose.
It makes life a lot easier when you're rich.
It can make it a lot harder. For example, if they're attractive, they might be more likely to be raped. I don't know if that's true.
Exactly.
As if poor women don't get raped.
For women,
they all do. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying that was a controversial thing to say, but it may or may not be true.
No, I tell you, I look at that woman who's married to what's David Beckham's son. What's that guy called? Who's married to what's his name? David Beckham's eldest son.
It doesn't matter. We just say that.
You know that guy? He's married to that beautiful blonde girl whose father.
She's not happy. They're not. They don't seem very happy.
Well, I tell you something. I wish I was in her shoes. Wow, she gets £1 million a week to spend. Beautiful look. He's gorgeous. I don't care what anyone says. And he's quite sweet too. It doesn't matter. He's got no money because she's got £1 million a week anyway. I think
he's got.
Sorry.
How does he have no money? That makes no sense.
Sorry, who? Brooklyn.
Oh, he does have money, but he just doesn't have as much money as his.
He doesn't work properly, does he? He just does a bit of cooking now and again on YouTube. He doesn't work, but he doesn't need to because she gets £1 million a week from her father, and she's going to inherit billions. Yeah. She's going to inherit billions. I mean, I think she is such a lucky female. I think to myself, wow, you really have hit the jackpot, lucky girl.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's gorgeous looking. Anyone says. Same as
Gigi
Hadid, you know. She's got what's his name? Lucky thing.
Who's that? Sorry.
Gigi Hadid is getting married to an actor.
I don't even know who that is. I can't believe.
She's a model, gorgeous looking. Okay. I mean, it must be nice to be a beautiful female. I don't care anyone says.
Do you know who was?
What?
Oh, I was gonna say that like there is one actor from the UK or America, I think, that was like pretty like kind of thought he was like pretty cute. His name is Ravi Amalek. I don't know. He played Freddie Mercury in like the biopic. I forgot his name. Like Ravi Amalek, yeah.
But it must be. I don't care. Anyone says like that girl.
It must be nice. It must be nice. But then you look at it another way, and they do say a lot of these extremely rich people are neurotic because they can't trust anyone around them.
No, yes, they can't. They can't trust anyone. Exactly.
Well, can we? Can we?
Sorry.
Can we trust people?
No, but at least when we know that people are assholes when as you go down the stratas of society, people do become a little bit more blunt, I believe, and you can kind of see what's coming, But as you go up, they hide their nastiness with politeness.
So no, but
perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, but I do think it makes for a nice, easy life. No housework. No, you don't have to do any housework. No, I think they have it very nice. Actually.
Christine, what do you think?
Sorry, I was just looking at pictures of this.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous. Is it something you're envious of? Is it something you'd like to be ingratiated within?
I mean,
I'm not envious, D&W. I don't think every day. Well, I'm not jealous. I just think, wow, you lucky lady.
Would you like to be in her position?
I would love to be rich. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to be wealthy, but like I wouldn't do what like Hollywood does behind closed doors.
Oh no,
I wouldn't want to do
yeah,
that.
not Hollywood. Not Hollywood rich, just normal. You don't have to worry about anything. No stress.
Exactly.
You don't have to worry about
Exactly,
money
that
ever
one.
again. Like
That
you know.
one.
She was
That
born
lifestyle
into it,
I
wasn't
want.
she?
You can do whatever you want. You can travel wherever you want. You can have a house. You can just buy a house like that. You can fill it with whatever you want. Replace stuff when those things need replacing. You know, like no stress.
No housework to do. That's what I would like. No housework.
Oh yeah, no housework. You know, just yeah, can stay
No,
whenever.
you know what? And you wait till you get old, Pristine. Wait to get to my age. Because I tell you something, house that becomes a real pain in the neck. I can tell
Yeah, I
you.
know. Yeah,
I loved it when I was young. I hate it now. I hate it.
yeah.
Absolutely loathe it.
Yeah,
Do you
I
like
feel
the house at D&W? You always seem to be cleaning and cooking and things.
I did mop the floors today.
Wow.
And I did a load of laundry this
Wow.
evening.
Yeah.
What else did I do? I actually cleaned the bathroom sink.
Wow.
And the toilet. Wiped that around.
Yes.
Made that look
Nice.
sparkly. So yeah, everything is. I like it when I've done it, and I like it when I'm doing it. But I have to be in the mood for it, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
When I'm in, yeah.
I never used to hate it. I used to love it when I was young. Hate it now. Hate it.
What chores?
I get myself a cleaning lady.
Oh yeah, cleaning.
Yeah.
service.
I'm thinking about it.
We had a
Really?
cleaner growing up. And then I've had a few cleaners in the shared places I've stayed in, but I'm not currently in a shared place. So there's a cleaner who comes in and does the outside area, but I have to obviously do my own studio. But yeah, I've had a few cleaners, and it is great when someone does a cleaning for you.
Oh, I'm tired. I've been doing it for all these years, and I'm sick of it. I'm so tired of it. And the cats make such a mess. You should see what you know what my cats like. I put all the food on little plates. Instead of eating off the plate, no, they put all the food onto the floor and then eat it off the floor.
Yeah.
So then I have to keep cleaning all this dried up food off the floor.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nibble says money makes you happy? Question mark. Yes. And then she says, I don't think so. Well, I mean, it definitely gives you more options in terms of escapism and also changing of your circumstances. Having money means you can change things up easier.
Yeah,
and in that sense, you have more, I would say you definitely have more chance.
Yeah, more freedom.
Of being happy.
Yeah.
Yes, you can run away. But I was actually on the subject of statistics of child abuse, D&W. Do you know 1 in 20 children in the UK have been sexually abused? 1 in 20. You know that?
I believe it used to be 1 in 4.
That's why that's women beaten up by men. D&W.
1 in 6 women or something. Yeah.
But
it's still terrible.
Women.
It's a terrible statistic. Yeah, it's a terrible statistic. Yeah.
But sexually abused children. This is 1 in 20 children. So you know you were saying about the elites would never do all these terrible things. Oh, they would if the proletariat are up to it. You can guarantee the elites will be doing it. Guarantee it. You know it's called adrenochrome. You know what they do? They take the adrenaline, they kill these children in states. I mustn't talk about it. Anyway, they get this adrenochrome. And yeah, that's why they all look young and gorgeous.
Yeah, that's what the elites do.
Yes. Yeah. And they also inject the blood. They buy
I'm
the
not
blood.
sure about that. I'm not sure. I think they probably do stem cell therapy, but I'm not sure if they're all eating kiddies.
I wouldn't put anything past anyone. Because you know what, D&W, every year in the US.
I mean, it would be revolting, would it not? I mean, wouldn't it, for the vast majority of people, that would induce a gag reflex. It would make you puke, wouldn't it? I mean, come on.
They practice, tell you up in higher levels, they practice some kind of witchcraft, all that sort of thing. It does go on.
Gaia thinks you're talking absolute bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Adrenochrome, no, adrenochrome is this. It's common knowledge.
But Gaia, like the files, man, the emails, like those are revealing to me.
No, I don't. No, Dana
Guy
Chrome.
says adrenochrome is active disinformation. It's bullshit.
I've read
Gary
about
says
it.
you can laugh all you like, Gaia. It's true.
Thank you. And you know what else they do? Young people in America.
Folks, link is in the live chat. Please do come on, make a show of it. The more voices, the better. Please come on.
Yeah, in America, young people, I'm talking about teenagers, 18-year-olds, sell their blood for the rich to have blood transfusions with, so they can have the blood of young people running through their veins as opposed to the blood of an old person.
Is that healthy? I feel like that would really mess you up, having someone else's blood in your
I
blood.
would want to do it. No, but that's it goes
Oh,
on.
yeah.
It's legal to do it. It's actually legal. And but young people make a
Oh.
lot of money out of it. Yeah.
Really? I
Have
didn't
you
even
heard
know
of
that was
Yeah,
a
they said it. You can sell your blood in
available.
America, and the
Well,
rich.
I don't even get blood tests. I don't want my. Yeah, I don't go to those.
No, I don't.
Blood
But I'm
tests
just saying it
vans
goes
or-
on. It goes on.
Yeah.
They have an entire body transfusion to get this young. No,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
common knowledge. It's in the press. I've read about it in the press. This
Oh,
whole thing
yeah.
of selling their blood. Yeah.
Yep. Crazy. Yeah, people are insane in the membrane. That's for sure.
And you know, when you give your body to body parts, you know, when you
That's
die.
a good song. Insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. I like that song.
It's a song words, isn't it?
You know, people give their body parts for, you know, surgery or
Yeah.
research or whatever.
Science, yeah.
It's horror stories, you know. These body parts get treated like slaughterhouse material, the same way they treat the animals. It's pretty grim. Yeah.
Sure sounds it. Yeah, my friend recently got a job as a mortician assistant or something, and she's just no filter with me. She's just sending me oh yeah, this happened today, all the details and about, you know, braiding their hair. I'm not going to get into the details. And then she sends me photos. She starts sending me photos of these people on the table, and I'm like, are you aware that most people don't want to see that? I don't want. You know, this is why I don't date other lesbians, because it's imagine, oh, how's your work? How's your day at work, honey? And then you get, oh, look at this, picture of and oh, this happened, with the family, and then I did this to the body and all this stuff, whatever they fix up the bodies and make them all whatever. I'm just oh god, not my thing.
You know what I find odd as well is that you never see any new cemeteries being built. Have you noticed? I mean, I've been living in the same place for 30 years. There's been no increase in cemetery space.
Yeah, it's because they're doing cremations.
Yeah, but not everybody gets cremated.
Mostly.
I'm just saying this is. I've read somewhere people commenting on the fact that there's no cemeteries. Well, you know me, I reckon that lots of bodies are being sent off to feed.
Are you okay with being cremated, Chickpea?
No one can feed me to the sharks.
No, I mean it's probably not going to happen, Chickpea. So, I mean, burial or cremation. What would be your preference?
I don't care. I honestly and truthfully don't care. I won't be here.
Me neither. I wouldn't.
My friend has this terrible fear, it's irrational, that they're going to be able to fill their own cremation.
Yeah, I have that as well. It's weird.
Even though they're dead, they think that they have this fear that your consciousness is still there, and you're still. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But that's there.
Yeah, but you're not. It doesn't make sense. It's not rational.
Have you got that fear as well, Christine?
Yeah, I do. I'd rather get buried, but I know, unlike that person though, I absolutely understand that. I don't really it's not if that happened, I mean, I wouldn't even, you're not even aware of it. So essentially it doesn't matter. Someone else can choose if they want to, but so ultimately I don't care, but preferably I would prefer to be buried or turned into a tree. Maybe I heard that's a thing on the horizon.
Yeah. I'd like to be put under a tree. That would suit me, and I'll just feed the tree. I think that's what we should do to dead bodies anyway. Not cremate them or put them in lead-lined boxes, because we're supposed to return to the earth.
Well, yeah, that's right.
I'll tell you something, Christine. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I buried a cat in a big pot plant of one of my trees. And this tree is just jumping out of the ground. It is growing so fast. So we're obviously meant to feed the earth with our dead bodies. I know it sounds horrible thing to say, but I did this because I couldn't find anyone to dig the hole for me. So I thought I'll just bury her in a big tub. I could see it.
A big hello to Seeker, aka Escape the Matrix. Welcome.
Thank you, brother DMW. How are you guys all doing on the panel channel?
We're doing okay. What was it you'd like to say to the world today?
Well, I kind of came in at a good time. Chickpea's talking about the graveyards, and I remember this discussion. Now, I want us all to focus on what Chickpea just said, because really think about it. Even like Chickpea's in England, I'm in Canada, but just like in her town, in my town, they're not building graveyards.
Weird.
Isn't it weird, Chickpea? It's like, what happened? Like, seriously, what's going on?
Well,
now here's what I want to know: how does it correlate with reincarnation? Is that because okay? Like my brain doesn't work for math sometimes, so I don't know how to add it up. So would that affirm reincarnation or would it not?
Well, the argument for this came up. I was having a row yesterday with somebody on here about human DNA turning up in processed meats. And that's how it all came about, this little conversation. And I read somewhere that somebody had commented on the fact, why is it every year hundreds of thousands of people go missing in the US, a few 100,000 in the UK, never ever found again? What's happening to all these bodies? Where are they being buried? What's happening to all these bodies? Because I believe, and you're going to say, no, they would never do that. Yeah. I believe, and unfortunately I'm a grim bitch for saying this, but I believe that this human DNA turning up in processed meat, etc. They're literally throwing their bodies into processed meat vats.
No, I believe
they do it to
be a
big
possibility.
vats. Sorry?
Yeah.
That's what I believe. No one else believes it, fine. But
nobody said we don't believe you.
Somebody pointed out.
Chickpea nowadays, like Chickpea, you know what I just saw I saw this yesterday of Epstein. Okay, now, okay, I don't want to say something that DNW doesn't want. This is what it said in the video. In the video, it said that Epstein had something to do with the jab, right? And that his DNA was in the jab. You know, the jab we all took a couple years ago?
Yes.
I got forced into it, or else I would have lost my job. And I waited till the very end deadline when they started threatening, saying if you don't take it, you'll get fired. But anyways, that's why I always knew something was off. But this is what I'm telling you, Chickpea. That guy was claiming that Epstein's DNA is in the jab, in all the jabs. Like it was in the, you know what I mean? And that is kind of, if that is true, again, because allegedly, if that is true, that is crazy, because that means
we all have like some small parts of Jeffrey inside us then.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it. Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, and again, like for people like me, didn't even want to take that stinking jab. I till this day, right? But I got forced into it. Now that's the thing, Chickpea. Do I believe they're mixing DNAs? Yeah, why not? Right? Why wouldn't I? I don't think you're nuts for saying anything like that. I think nowadays anything and everything is possible.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything is just it's really a crazy time we're living in. It's really a crazy time. Like I went to check this out. I went to visit my family earlier, Chickpea. And in the kitchen, they got this TV. And do you know what was playing, Chickpea? Do you know what was playing? It was this like European old lady or something. She must have been in her 90s, and she's milking a cow, right? And then I look closely, Chickpea, and I'm like, holy crap, that's AI. That's not even a real video. You know, now they're making everything AI.
Yeah,
It was an AI. It was an AI video of
Shocking,
some old. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder if my mom knows it's AI. But I didn't really have time to chat about it. But I was kind of wondering. I was like, I wonder if she knows it's AI or she doesn't care or whatever.
Mm.
But now you got all. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
It's
Go ahead.
heartening, all the whole AI thing.
Oh yeah.
But no, but the thing is, Escape the Matrix, I truly believe, and I know it's a really sick thing to say, but I truly believe that some of these missing people are literally being ground up and just turned into burgers along with all the other poor ground up.
Chickpea. Now I remember why I brought up Epstein. Okay, let me tell you this. Did you see the picture of Hillary Clinton's brother and Epstein? Did you see the picture?
I've seen lots of pictures of Epstein.
Okay. Because now I remember. Now I remember why I even brought him up. Because you're talking about the bodies. So I want to say this to you, Chickpea. 2 days before Epstein allegedly, offed himself, right? Because allegedly that's what he did, and even his own lawyer didn't believe that. But allegedly, 2 days before that, 2 days before that allegedly happened, Hillary Clinton's brother dies.
Yes.
Now, if you want, I can email you the pictures. They're literally identical twins. Hillary Clinton's brother. What I'm saying is they believe what happened was they believe Epstein is still alive. What happened is they think they took Hillary Clinton's brother and then they made him into a mock. Like they said that's Epstein. He hung himself. Blah blah blah. And then they that's what they did. But it's affirming what you're saying that they're playing games with bodies. Chickpea. That they're doing this stuff.
It's a good way to get rid of bodies. Just sell them to masses, put them in some burgers. After all,
Because see, Chickpea, they found out that they don't even have that much cows in America to be producing that many hamburgers and steaks. So they're like, where are they coming from?
Where's it all coming from?
Yeah.
Because it's very strange, isn't it? Because I tell you something, I think when it comes to the corporation will do absolutely anything for cash, anything. Facts. Nothing.
But just so you guys know, I want to make this clear. The good book, the Bible, it doesn't say that money is the root of all evil. It says it goes like this: the love of money is the root of all evil. So let's just kind of, because see what it tells you that there's nothing wrong with currency, right? You know why they call it currency, right?
Change, yes, a medium of exchange. So yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with it. It's like a scale. It's a measurement tool. So it's like, okay, Chickpea, this is how we're gonna measure what's worth what, and I'll give you my couch for $50, and you're like, all right, sounds good. But see, but it's supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be where like, all right, Chickpea, I'll give it to you for what it's really worth. Yeah. I can't give it to you for $4 because I paid a lot for it. But we have to be fair. But now people get greedy.
Yeah.
People get greedy. I don't think you know much about Jordan shoes, Chickpea. These sneakers that
Jordan is corrupt.
Yeah, they up them. Chickpea. They resell them 3-4 times the price. That's the love of money. That's what the Bible's talking about.
Yeah, I buy my trainers in Primark.
Oh, you call them? They're called trainers.
It's plastic, and I don't wear leather. So plastic.
They're trainers. Your shoes, Chickpea. Now are they like? Are they running? Are they walking shoes?
Yeah, well, I just kick around them when I go to the shops.
Oh yeah.
Just ordinary trainers. They look the same as Nikes, but they're just Primark own brand.
What kind of brand are they, Kate? What did you say? What kind of brand?
Primark.
Primark. That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard of Primarks. Yeah, no, I know those shoes, yeah.
I mean, I don't want shoes made from leather, so it suits me fine to have a pair of cheapo plastic ones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you gotta, that's the thing. You buy whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter. I remember Chickpea, I'll never forget this. This one guy goes like this. He said, why would I spend $200 for my, he had a kid, right? He had a son. He's like, why would I spend $200 to buy him Air Jordans for like the kid size?
Yes.
When he said he doesn't even care about that crap. But he said, if I spend $30 and get him the Spider-Man shoes that when you walk, they start lighting up, you know, when you walk, he said when I bought him those, he was so excited. He never wanted to ever get rid of them. Like he was in love with the shoe. He said, right, like the kid liked the $30 shoes. He didn't care about the $200 ones. You know,
that's a cool story. Yeah.
And the thing is, Fatima, I'll tell you this, Fatima, when they do that, when they start buying the kids exclusive wear at that young age, that kid is going to have that mindset that's going to be his standard. That means if he doesn't have a polo shirt and some True Religion jeans or whatever and some Jordans, like the kid's gonna, he's gonna be a bratty kid, you know. So it kind of psychologically messes them up, bro.
The one time, when I was in school, right, people were bragging about how much their shoes cost. Like they say, oh yeah, my shoe cost $300. No, mine costs $1,000. I'm like, what?
Isn't it awful?
Why are you like talking about this? And your shoes are made out of animal stuff. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, because children bully each other, don't they, with all this sort
They
of
do,
thing?
yeah,
Because
they
they
do.
see it on the films, it's all in the movies, and you see these movies with it all. So these kids, of course, see it on the movies, and they start doing it.
Chickpea, it's not just kids. When they see what
I
happens
know,
is
adults do
once
it
a
too.
bully always, like if you look, they do it in the workplace.
Oh, I know, don't tell me about it.
Other adults try bullying other adults. They do it in their circles.
Yeah.
They do it in their circles. They do it everywhere.
Yeah, I know, don't tell me about it.
See, the cool thing about being a loner is you're a sociologist. You're an observant to society, and that's why you can just kind of be alone. Is because you're like, well, I don't really want to be in any circle. Every circle has the devil hanging out there. So it's like, why be there really?
Even supposed friends. I used to work. I worked as a temp in the city in London for a while.
There's no such thing.
Work somewhere, and the bitching that he would do about that person who I was standing in for behind their back for a fortnight. It was just unbelievable.
Chickpea, I'll tell you right now, my dear friend, the only friend you have is yourself. Because you could like, see, we don't know this. We can be a friend to thyself. We can. We can know thyself. We can know thyself. We can be a friend to thyself, and we can love thyself.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do.
It's a hard thing to do because you don't want to do it, Chickpea. You got to be willing to love yourself. You're the only one that can do it.
Yeah, but it all depends on your updragging. If you've had a good childhood, yes, the chances are you'll have that inside you. But if that's been destroyed by bad parenting, it's very difficult.
No, but that's my point, right? It's about if you had a bad upbringing, that then you can realize all along you were your only friend all along. That's my entire point.
No,
it does. It does. I mean, it took me a couple years. You know, it takes. But it's repetition, right?
Yeah, but it's all very hard because,
it's all about repetition.
I've been in a psychiatric unit, and I tell you so. One thing I learned when I was in there was our lives are completely screwed up by our own parents.
Wait, did you think that this is in a psych unit right now? You thought this panel is in a psych unit? Is that what you think? You're on a psych unit right now. This is a digital psych unit.
Nobody feels about that classification.
I don't care if it is. I mean,
she thought they let her out. Nobody let you. You just came on the online version. Wait, hey, hello, Chickpea.
Yeah.
I've been in a psych unit. And it all comes down to parenting. That's all you heard from all the people in there. When you had group therapy, they're all talking about their dreadful childhood and their terrible parents.
Yeah, that's very true.
But honestly though, Chickpea, like, and I agree with you. Like that's how I feel, and I'm at a stage where I'm slowly starting to understand that. Put myself in their shoe. I don't think I would have did it better, because it's like we're really all, it's like the Oracle says in the Matrix, we're all here to do what we're all here to do. So it's like you kind of have to love that you're observant to that. You're like, oh, like I don't like the way they did it, because now you've learned, like they're all lessons. That's the beautiful thing of this freaking reality we're in. Like the lessons are in our face if we're willing to. Like, look at Chickpea. I bet you can name me at least, I don't know, 100 people you met in your lifetime that you're like, they're horrible. Now look at it. Those were all lessons on what not to be like. That's what they were all along, right? Though they weren't there for you to like, talk bad about. They were there for you to really look at and say, okay, that's what to not be like. Or you ever met saints? I have. I've met some people that I'm like, wow, like how do they pull this shit off? You know, how do they kind of do it every day like that? And then that's like kind of like Marcus Aurelius, right? You know, Marcus Aurelius, Jesus, you know, the Christ.
Dear, your parents created society. Why blame parents and not society? Because your first 6 years from life are completely imprinted on you. Only your parents can do that to you.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking about that yesterday, Chickpea. I was thinking about when they talk about that the first 6 years is going to determine.
Our future. Our future.
But Chickpea, I've literally been playing games with this reality to where I'm reversing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you can't, like, that's that's how intelligent we are as beings, like, because we know this, right? We can heal in every aspect, physically, mentally, spiritually, right?
Yeah,
so it's like, why not reverse it?
By the time you heal, the damage is done. By the time you heal, the damage is done. I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. But the thing is, with it all, you don't realize until you look back on it years later, and you've had some therapy, because you need a bit of therapy to get rid of all the shit inside your head. And then you say, yes, I can see why things have turned out the way they have, because I was doing this, that, and the other, because of the way I was dragged up. But by that time, I mean, the world's a mess. Just look at the way at wars we treat each other. And the wars are just a continuation of our first years of life. Then we go out and kill each other, and we do all these horrible, horrible things. It's shithole. I'm sorry, I don't have your positive take on life, as you know.
Oh, I know you don't, but there's a reason why I still come on the panel. I talk to you because I consider us friends, you know. So that's why I still come here. But yeah, no, and I completely get it, right? And obviously my response would be that you're right, the damage is done. But here's just the thing that just kind of boggles my mind about this simulation we're in, whatever you want to call it. It almost just seems like where you're gonna get thrown into a fight, and if you don't fight back, like if you kind of give up, that's what I'm calling what you're doing. I'm calling it giving up when you're like, the damage has been done. If you don't fight and say, I'm not going to go out without a fight, like I got screwed over, whatever, and now I'm going to fight back and make the next 20 years be the best 20 years or whatever. Like that's really, it just seems like that's kind of what like life kind of hints towards with everything. Like, even when we talk about evolution, right? You know, the strong will survive. What does he say? Charles Darwin says, it's those that can adapt to change.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, right? So it's like, it's whatever cards you were dealt with, it's like, are you willing to fight them, right? And make and grow out of them, or are you willing to just kind of sit back and say, well,
I believe life is like a game of cards. If you're dealt a bad hand, the chances are you're going to lose the match. And that is a sad, brute reality. Also, the Chinese have a saying that if you snag the sapling, you scar the tree. And that happens when you snag a sapling, the tree gets scarred. No, I have the totally opposite. Some people manage to overcome it. Some people, but some people manage everything. Some
Like
people.
like yourself, right?
No,
You didn't lose. You didn't lose.
Yeah, dude. But some people become like, the richest man in the world. Some people overcome everything. But
Yeah.
no, I truly, but I'm a pessimist, and as far as I'm concerned, I agree with what the Chinese say about snagging the sapling. You snag the sapling.
Say it again. What's it called? Snagging?
If you snag the sapling, you scar the tree.
That's deep. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I believe, and I do believe that because I've been in the psychiatric unit. So I spent quite a lot of time in group therapy things, and all of the patients there all came from these shitty childhoods. All of us, without exception. It was the same for all of us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Psychiatric units in prisons, and same in prisons. I suspect if you talk to prisoners and you find out about their childhood, it all stemmed in those early years of life. Yeah, I'm a great believer in that, I'm afraid. Great believer in it. And yeah, you know me, I've I've been screwed up, and I don't know. I've been lucky. I lived in a world where it didn't matter too much, but I wouldn't have liked to live 100 years ago where, if you were born in not an ideal situation, it was very, very hard to change it. We're the lucky ones in this 80 years. At least you get some chance.
Yeah.
But I'm not a great, but I'm afraid I think life is just a bloodbath. I don't have much faith in it.
It is an interesting. Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, you know what? Maybe I never asked you the right questions.
What?
Now, if it was up to you, right? Because I know how much you don't like the creators of the simulation. But let me ask you this: if it was up to you to make this life be exactly in your rules, exactly the way you want it, how would you make it out to be? I'm kind of curious to, and everybody's curious.
Right.
How would you?
I would deem that all human beings became vegans. That'd be my first rule. There'd be no animal killing by humans whatsoever. I would not stop animals from killing each other because a carnivore has to kill in order to survive. I don't like it, but that's the way it is. And I would have a communist society, and I'm talking about everyone address each other by their first names. And if there's a sort of salary level, I'm not saying for 1 minute that a surgeon who has got a responsible job should be earning more than, say, somebody working in an office, but I am very communist minded, and I do believe all titles should be got rid of.
All titles get rid of, you said?
Yeah, I think we should all address each other by our first names, all of us, regardless of who we are.
No, but we do. In the real world, we do, yeah.
Well, you haven't obviously been in the armed forces, have you? Because it's yes sir, no sir, shall I lick your willy, sir? And in the UK, we still have a world where even in civilian life, that still goes on. And of course, you've got it's very hierarchical. That's something I disagree with.
Now, let me ask you this. I'm kind of surprised that, you didn't say, whatchamacallit. I'm kind of surprised that you didn't say something like you'd have it to where none of the animals need to eat each other. Like, I'm surprised
that can't be done, can it? That can't be done. I'm talking about the world that we have as
no. I'm asking you if you were the creator. That's what I'm asking you. Like, if you were God, and you created this simulation or whatever. Like, I mean, I'm assuming you'd have it to where we'd all just eat fruits and vegetables, but those fruits and vegetables wouldn't be living then, because the ones right now currently they're living beings. They are alive. We know this.
Yes, it's a hellhole. I hate this place. That's why I hate it here.
No, but that's what I'm asking you. Can you tell me how you would create the simulation?
Well, I wouldn't have created it.
Well, what would you do? Okay, but what would you do with your existence? So you're not going to create a simulation. That's fine, no problem. But then, what do you do about your existence as like like the consciousness or whatever it is?
Well, I've never thought. Yes, I mean, I think this creation I believe in Gnosticism. I believe the Gnostics believed, and they believed the demiurge created. It wasn't a very good idea what he did, and I believe that. And I believe that us humans should just be little. We should just be moving. It's a few little atoms moving around the place. Yes, it's a horrible. It's I've never thought about it before, actually, but I find this planet a bloodbath. That's what I find. That's what I see.
No, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it is like we're in the game, and we have to play it, right? Because I've saw my mind. I've been the observer of my mind and my train of thoughts. Like, it's funny, when I woke up today, I didn't like the dream. It's actually, I want to say it's been about 2 weeks, and I don't think I'm doing a good job. I think I could do more. But it's been about 2 weeks to where I've been trying to really create the dream I want, like, when I go to sleep. And I know, like, okay, because your dreams come from the subconscious.
Yeah.
So, but believe it or not, any little thing you think of, like, let's say I thought of something stupid today, just something stupid that happened 7 months ago, and I go to sleep tonight or tomorrow. Actually, forget about tonight, tomorrow or the night after, and the dream correlates to that thought I had today. That's what the dream was about.
Yeah.
See, that's why you really got to be careful with your thoughts, because what I'm getting at is it's come to me that it's really all about the mindset. It starts there, and if someone if someone wants to tap out of the game, it's just really, really gonna be like dangerous psychologically. It's just gonna be a dangerous world. Dangerous.
We've been the lucky ones. It is a dangerous world.
But that's why I'm trying to make the best of it, right? So it's like, well, what can I do? What is the most? How can I be the most productive and function the most? Well, there's a bunch of things you could do, right? Like, they even talk about physical health. Like, for example, the stats show people that go to the gym are mentally doing a lot better than people that don't go to the gym.
No. Yes,
a lot better.
I do know that.
Yeah. So it's just
is a talk show. If you would like to join the conversation, please feel welcome to come on and talk right now. The link is available in the live chat on YouTube.
It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it, right? It's a lot that goes into the mental. Like, see, at the end of the day, okay, let's just sit here and say it's a prison planet, right? Okay, let's just sit here and say all 8 billion of us, if that really is the number, by the way. Let's say all 8 billion of us are stuck on this rock, this planet, whatever you want to call it, and there's no getting out of it. Well, it's like, look, there's only a handful of things you could do, right? It's like, okay, you could buy a house, get property, whatever. You could create a family. You could you can go to school. You can create your own business. There's like it comes down to that, right? It comes down to these type of options, and it's like, whether you want to call it a prison planet or not, it's like, why not just make it the most the most fun you can, right?
Yes. But what about those of us, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Apparently, 20% of the population is naturally pessimistic. It's 20% of us. Plus, some of us suffer from organic depression. I do. There's actually something wrong with my brain chemistry. And so, yes, I can understand that optimist. I'm sure that Jeff Bezos is, he obviously very, I can see that he's an optimist, and the same with Elon Musk. But if you're someone like me who's a pessimist, plus I don't like telling people what to do, I don't like telling people what to do, so I could never ever be an employer. I have to be an employee, because I don't want to say to somebody, go and do this, go and do that. It's just not my nature. I'm different. Don't get me wrong. I'm not moaning about my life. I live with my 7 cats, and I've got a flat, and I've got some pennies in the bank.
No, I know it's about existence for all of us. I know. Like you're not really complaining about your life, but it's more complaining that we live in a prison planet, as you kind of like
I
to
don't
word
like
it.
it. This planet's got a horrible vibe to it. It's got a really.
But this is what I'm saying, right? Imagine if this really is like a certain level. Like I don't know, maybe this isn't level 1. Maybe this is like level 3. Like maybe we were in a different. Like I mean, technically, you can kind of call, like if you're talking about past lives. Remember how you get into your past lives, Chickpea?
Yeah.
Because you said you've done that, right?
Yeah.
So you could look at that as like a different level, right? And then you kind of had to come back or whatever, and then from there you go to a different dimension or whatever.
Yeah, but what gets me about it all is you're stuck inside this meat bag, okay? It's great when you're young, when the meat bag works properly. But as you get older, you get bloody well tired of it all because, it can be a bit of a pain in the neck. And the older you get, the more of a pain in the neck it all becomes. And I look around me and I look at most people. Now, most people don't look after their meat bags very well at all. In fact, I do better than 90% of the population. And I just look at them and I think, well, I don't know, I guess I'm just a miserable little ingrate. I don't know. Yes, you're right. It's yes, it's.
I find I'll tell you this, Chick. Be honest to God, right? I know, when I was going through a bunch of things, right? Well, before I went through my 4 years of depression or whatever you want to call it, and it was 4 consecutive years. But before that, I know that at one point I was like really dedicated to this one job. I was even literally putting in hours.
Yeah, I used to
like no, but I was like putting in hours behind the scene that I wasn't getting paid for it. I was like I cared a lot about it. But here's the truth. Here's the psychology behind it. The psychology behind that is it was easier for me to put effort on other people and not myself. It was like when it came to me, it's like I'll just do that tomorrow. I'll do that another day. So it's like I'd always. But anyways, what I'm getting to is at that time, I wasn't going to the gym. I was strictly just focused on that job, and every time, the obstacles were always other workers. Whenever that type of obstacle came up and tried ruining some of the plans I had going at that job, then that would frustrate me, right? So the job mentally was doing nothing for me, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, like in 2020 hindsight, why was that not one of the best years of my life? Well, I just said it, man. Like I told you everything you need to know. I was focused on one thing. And so, and now it's changed for me to where it's like, I treat a lot of the jobs like a side hustle, and then I'm focused on a bunch of goals. And it's like, I just can't even get into it, Chickpea. On the productiveness is different. The mental clarity is different. The joy is different. You know what I mean? It's just it's that healthy balance.
Yeah,
that healthy balance.
I'd love to go. I used to go to gym when I was young in the 70s and 80s. I was a real keep fit, but I got the RA. Plus, I've noticed gyms have changed since 70s and 80s, and now, quite frankly, they're a place I don't want to go in because God knows what I might catch in there because there's so many weird people about, and you get pestered by men, whereas when I was young, that didn't happen, and I don't go to the gym anymore. I'm too scared, to be honest. I'm even too scared to walk the shops half the time, and I am. It's, it's I mean, like living in London, I want to move from London. This country's so screwed up. I can't even find a flat where I can live with a load of cats, even if I buy that flat. That's how screwed up it all is.
Yeah, you live in one of the biggest cities in the world, Chickpea.
Yeah,
you live in one of the biggest ones, man. I'd love to go. I'd love to go there one day. I've never been there before.
No, I wouldn't advise it because London has been destroyed. They've pulled down all the old buildings, put up these horrible skyscrapers, and there's cars, and you're just bombarded with it all. It just crashes in on you. It's not what it used to be back in the 70s and 80s. It used to be lovely in the 70s and 80s. It was really nice, London, especially, the West End and the city, central London. And it was really lovely place to be. But like the gym, I would love to go down the gym. But you know what? I find people have changed so much that I don't even want to go down the gym anymore. Plus, I'm scared in case I might catch something because, people aren't I don't know. But yes, I should do some exercise. People are right.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen, I see all kinds of people go, different age groups and there's also, like I've seen, I follow a couple channels, Chickpea, where they show you how you could just do this at home. They're these like stretches. They're like stretches that'll they literally heal the body. These type of stretches.
Yes, I must start it all again. I have been very depressed over the years. I'm getting better since becoming here because I have a good moan all the time, and it's getting rid of my negative feelings. And one day, hopefully, I'll get so sick of moaning that I'll stop doing it. And I think myself, right.
I'll tell you this: if you coming on here and you say you stupid little man, if that makes you feel better, I got no problem being a punching bag. No problem at all. You're just stupid little man. That's all you are.
But I get used to punch back too on here. Have you heard some of the stuff I've said to me?
I would never, Chickpea. Chickpea, I consider you my BFF on here. I consider you my BFF, even though you call me a stupid little man. You're still my BFF. You're still my BFF.
But it actually, bad, isn't it? But
I would not. And here's another thing for everybody watching: if anybody starts anything with Chickpea, I'm gonna give you a 5-knuckle sandwich to anybody starts anything with Chickpea.
I'm always rowing with somebody on it. But it's getting rid of my negative feelings because it's like group therapy coming here, and it is a bit like group therapy. I think DMW should start charging us online group therapy. I keep saying,
I agree with you. You got to let it out. You have to let it out, because if you don't let it out, then it's like it just stays boggled in and
inside you.
Factual facts.
That's what I find is wrong with the world, because I'm a great fan of Barbara Ehrenreich, the writer, the American lady, Jewish lady, very clever, and she's written a book on this subject, and it's called Smile or Die, and telling people, and she believes that the reason why America is becoming so screwed up is all due to the fact they have this smile or die thing going in America, and just smile, 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 be happy and clap. Whereas I'm the total opposite. I think that if you've got something on your mind or you're a bit pissed off, you should be able to say it. People can sway me as much as they like. I don't mind. If they want to let off steam, that's okay by me. Oh, D&W's gone. See, he always does this.
We got Brother Marcus, so we kind of did a trade-off. Brother Marcus came in for D&W. Brother Marcus.
See, I've cheered up.
What's going on, Mark? How are you, man?
I'm okay. How are you?
He's back.
We're good, man. We're just chilling.
Grumpy guts.
I
said to DW, you should turn this into a group therapy for grumps, and you could charge us all, make yourself some money.
Then I'd have liabilities. But Brother Marcus is back.
Why do you have liabilities? I don't understand.
Because he's not a registered psychologist. That's probably
right.
Yeah.
Is that would that
guys? What was I gonna say? It's getting late now, so I'm probably gonna saunter off to bed. But I suppose I'll give anybody watching a chance to come on if you want to chat backstage after the show. Link is in the live chat, so I'll give you about 5 minutes to get your shit together and come on if you want to chat together after the show backstage, as you were, people.
How was the show? I got some of it in and out.
Oh, you were just talking, just I actually what I asked Chickpea was, I asked her if she was the creator, if she was, this God figure
Yeah, I wouldn't
that
know what.
everybody talks about. I asked her if she was, how would she kind of run this simulation? And would it just be we can't eat animals? Would animals exist? And stuff like that. And
But my main source of unhappiness on this planet is the disregard we have for animal suffering, and that really upsets me. That it just upsets me terribly. I can't be happy with it. It's just there within me. I just don't like it, and I think
facts.
I just don't like it. And I don't.
You know what I did see about 2 weeks ago that was really disturbing was I was visiting my parents, and this guy comes knocking the door, and he's like, "Hey man, I think your dog's out there." And I'm like, "Dog?" I'm like, "We don't own a dog." And then I was like, "I think you're talking about one of the other because I know that this neighbor and then the other one have a dog." So I'm like, "I think you're talking about them." And he was just a weird, sketchy looking guy. He starts looking up and down. He's like, "I think you might want to see this. It's a dead dog."
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God.
and I Chickpea, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" But I'm like, "I don't know how to help you, bro." I'm like, "That's got nothing to do with us. We don't even have a dog." He's like, "I don't know what to do, man." So I'm like, "All right, let me put on my slippers." So I put on and it's all snowy and shit everywhere. So then I go, and he takes me to the parking lot. It's like for the not what the heck's it called, for the complex, because they live in a complex type area.
Yeah.
So it's a park, and it's a little Chickpea. It's a little Chihuahua in a sweater,
Oh God.
and he's got a dog tag. He was in the middle of a parking spot, in like literally in the middle of snow, and he's dead, and his eyes are like popped out.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, no, it was heartbreaking, and the guy's asking me, he's like, he's like, "I don't know whose house it is," and I'm like, I don't know, right? I'm like, maybe the dog fell out of the car. I don't know, but I told him, I don't really want to say the agency name on here. They're not the police, but it's an agency that deals directly with animals. So I told him, I'm like, just call them, and they'll come and deal with it, because it's a certain organization that deals with animal abuse, anything like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was just because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how did you guys? I'm just kind of thinking, how could people be like reckless or what's the word called? What's it called when you leave something, like you leave your kids with? What's it called? That word? Neglect. Yeah, like how can you be so neglectful to an animal?
Yeah, it's horrible.
But yeah, it was really sad to see that little chihuahua.
Yeah, it happened to me recently. I was looking after a little stray cat, and she was pregnant, and I was trying to make friends with her, and then I found her laying dead in the curbside with one kitten that she'd just given birth to. It was heartbreaking.
Oh, that's really sad.
It was last summer, yeah. Horrible. It was heartbreaking. So I was trying to make friends with her, and
So Chickpea, I forgot to ask, do you have stray cats that come and
yes, I had one in my flat the other night.
Yeah.
Did I tell you it happened on here? I was
Right.
yeah.
She does say that she was talking about these stray cats coming around for some food.
Yeah.
Before I go, I'm going to close the show now. But Chickpea, I think Escape the Matrix kind of asked a question. It's funny, Escape the Matrix. This is the weird thing. I was in the other room when you asked that question, and I was kind of thinking something along the same lines. So, honestly, I was thinking about asking a similar question. I was going to ask Chickpea the question. You asked, ideally, what would the world be like if she was God, if she was the creator? Chickpea, that's one question I want you to have a serious think about. And another question that I was thinking about at the same time, Escape the Matrix, is can you tell us next time you're here what's good about life, to the degree that I want you to make an argument that is pro-life. Now, you may not agree with it.
Me or Chickpea? Me or
No,
Chickpea?
Chickpea.
Oh,
Now
Chickpea,
you may not agree with it, Chickpea, but in debate circles in school and in debating clubs, sometimes people have to argue a position they don't agree with. Okay,
Yeah.
so I know you may not like me for doing this to you, but I'd like you to make an argument that is pro-life, okay, pro-existence. Pro-life and pro-existence, pro the experiencing of this existence.
But that's cognitive
And
dissonance.
then you want me to argue against it and say why it's not a good point.
I wasn't
can do
including
that.
you. I wasn't including in you, but that would be some jolly japes if that's what you want to do.
That's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, because you can. It would make sense because I was the one saying, life has good to it, and then so it would make sense. Yeah.
If you want, I don't know if you guys will be on at the same time, but
I'm always here.
All right. Next time, will we say next time you're on at the same time?
Yeah, you know me, I'm addicted to this lot.
Will you remember that Escape the Matrix?
Oh yeah, I won't forget, man.
All right,
I won't forget.
Basically, you're going to have to take the oppositional view to your, ongoing outlook. So that will be interesting. Chickpea, are you up for that?
Yeah, I'll think of something. Well, there are some good things, obviously.
But it needs to be a passionate display. Where you get into the nitty-gritty of it all, not just some half-assed attempt. You're trying to win the debate. Now, is that okay?
Should be fun.
It will be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, listen, we'll close the live. People can stay here and chat backstage. Do you want to say something in closing, people? Chickpea, do you want to say anything in closing?
No, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. It's always nice to be here.
I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. For the most
No, it's
part,
becoming a real addict. You know what, Escape the Matrix? I'm becoming so addicted to D&W in this. It's quite scary, actually. It's like addiction.
Escape the Matrix. Do you want to say something in closing for tonight? The live?
No, nothing. Good seeing everybody as usual.
Nice one. Pristine, if you're there and able, would you like to say something in closing for the live stream?
No, cheerio. Have a good day or night, anyone who's listening.
Yeah, we're still here.
Lovely job,
Whine and moan.
Brother Marcus.
Pip pip cheerio.
Pip pip cheerio. Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. I'll play the outro. Brother Marcus likes this one.
Truth is fleeting, shadows call. We search for meaning, we question all. The path is winding.